Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Speedruns from the Crypt, the late night horror show on GDQ. Before we begin, we will have the announcements of SGDQ 2021 Online will be July 4th to July 11th. Game submissions are currently closed, but tweet us at Games Done Quick and tell us what you're hoping to see make it into the schedule. As well, today is Wednesday, so we are having the show, and as a focus for this week's, we're going to be taking a look at a variety of different nightmares and horrors, some less big than others. Specifically, this week's focus is going to be on the franchise, the series Little Nightmares. Recently, both as a speed run and as just a community, there's been a lot of involvements, so we're going to showcase a variety of runs both from the first game and we'll also be showcasing the newer and the second game if you have not seen them. It's a very fun franchise, very near and dear to my heart, so I do hope that you do enjoy today's runs. Starting off, we will be going into a Little Nightmares any percent race, actually. On this race, we'll be having our runners, Zyra X0, Gearkey42, and Cake Bomb Rodney. As well, I'll be joined by our co-host for today, Larxa. So, let's go check that out. How you doing today, Larxa?
Yeah, hey. Yeah, thanks for having me on the Speedrunners of the Crypt show. Yeah, I mean, I love Little Nightmares. I look forward to this race. I ran the game myself, and I also run Little Nightmares 2 currently.
All right. As well, we did start the race a little bit earlier here, so you may have already noticed on the screen we do have the race going. We have our 3 runners. Me and Larks will be commentating this, so before we begin, how about we introduce our runners for the day?
Yeah, let's start with Zyra.
All right.
Yeah, I usually speedrun this game. That's about it.
All right. As well, we have Cake Bomb Rodney. And as well, we also have Gearkey42, who will not be commentating, just, doing the run, so I'll be kind of talking for them here. Anyway, as you may have noticed, we're kind of already beginning the run here. They're running through a variety of locations that looks kind of like an old boat.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know about... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, correct. Like, the game takes place on a boat. There's also something called, like, the ship cycle, and the runners aren't sure if it's, like, actually a thing or not, but, like, ship cycles tied to, like, RNG, and some jumps will be affected by it. The boat sways, like, to the left.
Yeah, and that'll be one of the neat factors of the game that we'll kind of be breaking on into, and that will be affecting all of the runners. It's actually weird, too, because we're not sure what decides the ship cycle, and you might notice it because since they're on a boat, you can kind of see the screen is swaying back and forth, and this can actually play major factor. Yes, there are glitches. Chat. Watch that open.
Yeah,
you have it open,
I have the chat
All right, cool.
open, yep.
Yeah, we do respond to chat here, so... the early game's mostly running, so right now we haven't broken into too much, but in a little bit here we're going to be kind of seeing some major spreads potentially. All these runners are within top time, so it should be an interesting race to see what happens here. Right now, it looks like around the leeches, or shortly afterward.
Yeah, there aren't any, like, major jumps right now, but yeah, the run just does take, like, picks up pace after a while.
As well, traditionally for Little Nightmares runs, community times, in-game timer, load time. Right now, it does, we're going to be using RTA, so there might be minor differences between these, but for the most part, it should be rather equal, I believe. As well, Little Nightmares as a game has been pretty... what's the word? Also, hold on, I'm doing things for audio right now. I seem to be cutting out. I hope not.
Yeah, my microphone seems to be cutting out, apparently.
Weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
Are we all good? I do hope so, they're all good. Alright, Should we be good to go? Okay, cool. We should be good to go. Ideally. Hopefully we're all fine. Hopefully we sound good. Hold on a sec. All right. Okay, right now we're actually hitting an early glitch, as you can see on Rodney's screen. And I believe we're going to be seeing a warp where they're using this block to zoom just kind of past the little light bulb there. This is one of the newer tricks. It's a bit of a clip, and the way it works is, I guess you use the momentum of kind of crashing into the blocks, and that just zooms straight forward, and you're able to kind of pass a waiting section. It does appear that Zyra here is going to be waiting for this portion, which doesn't lose too much time.
Yeah, it's definitely the safer route, not to do the skip.
And then it does seem that Gearkey did get caught by the light, which you can see the light's incredibly deadly.
Yeah.
And right now, on Rodney's end, I can see we're entering one of the first major tricks of the game that a lot of runners, tends to go with. For this one, this is going to be called the hunger skip. The way this is going to work is you can actually force a trip to skip a hunger animation. I know that doesn't sound like much, but over the run, it saves about 1.5 minutes, and you use a variety of strategies, either the tripping or the hanging, as you see there. Looks like Rodney landed all the hunger skips perfectly so far. Next, we have Zyra approaching these. Let's see how these go.
Yeah, and like the hunger skips, there's, I believe, like 2 more sections where you need to do the hunger skips. And it's very important you like time these correctly. So there's like a spot on the floor where you have to like trip your character, like trip 6. So she like skips the animation.
Looks like Zyra's good on hunger skips. And now let's see how Gearkey does. We might have perfect hunger skips all around. And yeah, this game is on multiple platforms. You have it on the Switch, you have it on, I think, PS4, I think it might be on the Xbone, and then a lot of the runners will be using PC for this.
Yeah, PC is definitely the easier way to run this game, I'd say. Because like a lot of skips are good with keyboard mouse, so they're very like precise. They're more precise with keyboard mouse than with controller.
Yeah. And it seems Gearkey managed to land the hunger skips as well. So perfect hunger skips all around. That's really, really good. Right now, Rodney is currently blazing a trail here. He landed a pretty far jump, as you can see with that one. And he's going to be coming up to one of the... I think it's one of the harder tricks in the game, but, results may vary per runner.
Yeah, the pulley skip. I really like this one. That's going to come up.
Pulley skip is a very interesting trick.
There's also like several ways to do pulley skip as well, so I'm curious to see what type the runners are going to pick.
It saves a lot of time, and it's very interesting because you're going to be seeing our main character here, 6, going through very big leaps and bounds. So let's see how it goes. And the setup for this is going to be, normally there's a gate, it's electrified, so you have to turn off electricity. Normally you have to go down this safe pulley, which is much, slower than we want it to be. So if you look on Rodney's screen right now, just turning off the power, and then he's running back, and let's see what happens.
Nice, he landed it.
Perfect landing. And let's see. Perfect. So you can actually just send your way back down, and this is a lot harder than it looks because if you fall the wrong way and you don't touch the wall, you'll actually just eat a death because you're falling from a big height. After that, you can actually go out of bounds because the wall on that area is not supposed to exist. So you can accidentally walk through it, and that's not very good. So it's just a lot of precise movements, and it was executed excellently by Rodney. Let's see how Zyra does. Perfect. Looks like we're currently 2 for 2 on the pulley skips. Now Gearkey.
Now Gearkey's turn.
I hope it goes well.
Yeah, if you like land too close to the wall, you just like fall through the floor. Oh, you got it too. There you go.
Landing and perfect. All perfect skips all around. This game has a lot of leeway in it. There's a lot of potential to mess up throughout the run. There's a lot of difficult tricks coming up. This game has evolved vastly over the years, and all these runners are going to be... It's going to be very interesting to see what ends up turning out, especially when we start getting to the later levels. So, Larkson, what is the general breakdown of levels?
Interestingly enough, there's like a new skip found not too long ago, like literally a day ago, I think. There's like a major skip found.
A little bit less than not too long ago.
Yeah, it's crazy actually.
All right, but so what's the level breakdown roughly?
Yeah, right here, they have to like jump up this closet that you're actually not supposed to climb it like that, jumping up from the sink. Then you like pick up the key, you know, push through the door, and there's like another small skip where you can like fall through a plank if you land correctly on like a monkey, which you'll see in a moment, which chat will see in a moment.
Yeah. And then
right there, like the monkey. Like later, if you like throw it onto the plank, you can like fall right through, but that's like a bit later.
All right. And it does look like Zyra missed the first jump on the sink skip. You may be noticing the skip right here. It ends up saving not as much time as you would think. I want to say it's maybe about 15 to 30 seconds. What you're skipping is the little bed over there where you pull the lever, you have to climb on the right, and then you're able to just kind of get the key, as you can see. And it does look like Gearkey has managed to catch up a bit here with the first try sink skip. And to, before we get to the hunger skips here on Roddy's end, I just kind of want to mention the general level break. Actually, we can do that afterward. Let's see how this goes. Looks like we have one.
And then the last one is the hardest one. This one that's like this one right here.
Yeah.
This hunger skip. Oh, you missed
it. Yeah, it's always an upset. It was really difficult to land. You actually saw on Ronnie's end, he was ended up going for a second kind of trip there, and that trip is kind of the thing that ended up skipping it. And all these hunger skips, it's a forced animation, so if it plays out, you lose time. But overall, still very good. As well, this hallway is really nice for anyone wanting to learn the game, because with this game, you're actually, like in this hallway right here, you're able to kind of learn the hunger skips as a whole. Like, you can do them here, you can do them anywhere. Let's see, we have Zyra. First one, done. Gearkey, first one. All good. Coming up to the second hunger skip. Looks like Zyra ended up missing that one. And Gearkey is moving forward. Let's see. One more. Oh. It's a hard one. That's a hard one.
Yeah, that one also takes the longest time if you miss that one.
It's really mean. But now moving on forward, you can see Rodney got himself into a cage there. That's kind of part of the force story here. Every level in Little Nightmares kind of takes you through a different part of this boat. So in general, you have the prison, which is the first one. Right now, we're in the lair. Up next will be the kitchen. Later, we'll be in like the buffet. And then later we'll kind of just be in like the head rooms. So each of these levels will kind of test the runners in different areas. And I want to say that the stretch between like lair and kitchen is arguably where a lot of the differences in this run will probably happen.
Yeah, the part with the kitchen is, I think, the biggest run killer. One of the bigger run killers.
Also, right now, you can see Ronnie's just blazing past this guy with really long arms. This is the janitor. His mechanic is that he's unable to see, so if you're walking around, he won't be able to see you, but his hearing is absolutely on point, and he can just, like, make any noise, he will grab you.
Yeah, so the strat there is, like, if you jump past him, instead of running, you make, like, minimal noise, so you just want to, like, spam jump past him, basically. Now Rodney needs to like wade through the shoes.
Yeah, it's like the it's that one part of like Amnesia with all the water where you just if you're in there too long, you die to the shoe monster.
Like both Kirky and Zyra seem to be on a similar pace right now.
Yeah, they both did the janitor manipulation very well. And right now on Ronnie's end, technically you, um, this is a room that like when you play it casually, the game will try to scare you into hiding in that back corner there, like the little box. But you're gonna see Ronnie just chilling. Nothing bad happens here. You can just chill.
Yeah, you can just stand there for days. Well, the janitor doesn't see, so.
Right. So as long as you're hiding and you're not on the direct path of the janitor, you can just do whatever you want, really. You almost got there. It is.
Oh yeah, this was a monkey I was talking about. Like if you just jump there, you can like fall through immediately.
Nice. Oh, that get a little bit stuck in the plank, but
Yeah, it seems really simple, but it isn't.
a lot of tricks in this game might end up that way in some areas. Like the hunger skips
Yeah.
mainly are one of the big ones that really kind of permeate throughout the entire run. Alright, and looks like we have Gearkey in the elevator, and Zyra is now in the elevator as well. Actually, I didn't notice. What masks did they all choose? Because you can have different headwear and different like masks that you can wear throughout the game that kind of, I know, different
Yeah, I
runners can use
think-
different things.
I think Gearkey's the only one wearing a mask right now.
I see Zyra has the ladies'
Zyra
mask.
too. Oh yeah, yeah.
I think
I didn't
like the
notice.
porcelain one, and then I think Rodney went the default.
Oh. I don't think I've ever worn a mask during my Little Nightmare 1 runs.
I just like the default. So right now, Rodney actually did a little bit of manipulation, as you can see there, just by waiting next to the shoe. I know it sounds simple, but the way the shoe drops and like you make any amount of noise in that room, the janitor, it's an instant death. There's no health in this game. If you get caught, you're dead.
Yeah, also if you like wait to like if you stand on the spot where the shoe's gonna fall, if you stand there too soon, the shoe will just fall through the floor.
Yeah, it's a horrible glitch to have, and it just oh there. So that jump, we'll lose a bit of time. It might last some
Yeah,
catching
that
up.
was a ship cycle. Like you see the
Yep.
piano like sway back and forth. That's like the ship cycle.
As Larkson mentioned earlier, since this game is on a boat and there are the ship cycles, the boat's constantly rocking back and forth. So we're not going to be entirely sure how it sways, and this could be a little bit of an RNG factor throughout the run, because that piano might not be in the best spot.
Yeah.
It does look like Ronnie is back on track, though. And right now, we're actually going to get one of the meanest tricks in the game, I think. It's not that hard, but I love it because it's really, really just headstrong in how you do this. You just zoom past him, and I know that sounds simple, but again, if you make any noise, if he catches you at the wrong time, it's an immediate grab, and like the janitor just instantly gets you.
Yeah, you need to like jump over his shoulder. If your body touches the janitor, you're dead, basically.
Exactly. Right now, it looks like we have a gear key coming up on the janitor little skip here. Let's see how it goes. Oh, a little bit close there. The janitor did get wind of gear key there, but gear key does manage to pull that off.
Yeah. Zyra is approaching the piano.
You know what the piano can do?
There you go, perfect.
Taking it safe. Alright, now we have Rodney ending up back towards the piano, and this is going to be a little bit of fun with that ship cycle, because it still continues throughout each game, and right now, depending on how good or bad it is, might dictate how much we're going to be spinning this. It looks like Rodney is good. I think Zyra got caught, though, and by the janitor.
Yeah, he got. Yep.
Oh. These things happen. Again, the janitor skip is not an easy skip. You catching back on up here. And right now we're probably gonna hit, I think, my favorite skip in the game. And it's a kind of a sad one, because I do want to mention that, you know, we have a lot of fun, but these are horror games. This game does have boss fights to a degree. So right now we're going to be entering a boss fight with the janitor, and normally this boss fight is pretty difficult. What you have to do is you have to avoid his arms, and then you have to kind of drop a door on him. but you can do a big skip that breaks the entire fight and ends it almost immediately, which you'll probably be seeing on Rodney's screen here first, and then subsequently the others. The way this is going to work, though, is Rodney's going to stealth through this section right here. And then...
you can just jump over his hand there easily.
Yeah. Right here, he's actually going to be waiting in the center area. By doing so, he's going to bait out a grab and dodge it. You can see right there. And that slows the janitor down to a degree that the janitor's not going to be able to catch up to you. And then by pulling out one of the metal rods first, what's going to happen is the janitor's AI is going to be broken, so you can immediately pull out the other one. Although it does seem like it was a little bit slow, so we will have to wait.
Yeah, Rodney took like the safer route, which is not a bad idea. But yeah, you can do like a 0 cycle where you pull the first bar and you jump immediately to the other bar, like clipping into the janitor's arm.
Want to say the fight went well? Yeah. No worries, no worries. You're doing great. Right now we have gear key. Let's see what happens. There's the grab. Looks good. And you can kind of see he's just existing in the bars.
Yeah.
And good. So far, we're about to have 2 runners entering the kitchen, and Zyra's gonna be finishing up right now in the janitor. Let's see how that's going. I'm hoping for perfect skips all around here. Also, I'm excited to see right now because Rodney's gonna be entering more hunger skips. Oh, there's a grab. Again, the janitor is very, very touchy. Like, he can, at, like, the level of leeway you have with the janitor is much, much less than you would think. Right now with Rodney, though, we're gonna see these hunger skips. I'm thinking 1 of 3, Lark, so what do you think? Or 1 of 2, I should say.
No, 2 out of 3. I'm
2
pretty
out of 3?
confident about this one. Yeah.
The second one's always a tough one.
Here are pretty, like, easy to pinpoint on the floor.
I hate to be a jinx.
Yeah.
I hate to be a jinx.
Oh.
But I know that second one all too well. Alright, here's Zyra with the janitor skip here. Let's see if it works.
Yeah, you got this.
Let's see.
Oh, you tried? Yeah.
I love like the little zoom that happens with that.
There you go.
Alright. I think, wait, did Gearkey land all of them?
Man, I was watching Zyra there for...
Yeah, I was watching Zyra on that one really quick, and I'm looking, I just looked at the 2, the Gearkey and Rodney, and I think Gearkey's back in the race. I think Gearkey caught up.
Yeah, like, nailing those hunger skips saves a lot of time, so...
Yeah. Alright, now, the new skip that Larkson was talking about, the, you know, the not so long ago, as of yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't think the runners are going to do it because it's brand new, but there is now a new skip that saves 1.5 minutes.
Yeah, it's insane.
The way that works is... Are you going for it? What?
Oh
No,
my
you're
goodness.
ahead.
That's insane. That's crazy.
If you get the skip, it's over. Oh my god, I don't know why you're going for it. The absolute mad lad.
Everything for the chat.
Everything for the chat. So what happens is he's manipulating the chef. Looks like Gearkey is going the traditional routes. If you miss this, by the way, Gearkey has taken the lead. If you get this, you pretty much win the race.
That was close.
You guys see the clip there. I'm still gonna give a clap. I'm gonna give a clap for Rodney. Why, Rodney? Why? Well, Gearkey is now taking the lead at the top of the rafters. I don't recommend going for it again. I'll say that right now. You could, but I don't recommend it.
Yeah, the way that skip works is that you like the chef basically clips you through the door/wall there.
But yes, everyone, can we have a nice round of applause for Rodney for going for the absolutely, I would say the riskiest strat in the game at the moment and deciding to, yeah. It's all for the fun, though. It's all for the race. So Larks, would you like to explain what's currently going on with the key on Gearkey's end?
Yeah, so... Oh, he got the key already, okay. So he needs to sneak past the key past the chef, basically. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, the chef is very sensitive, so that's actually pretty good. And then you come up to like the section where you need to like we call this the meat cycle. So yeah, he needs to like jump into the vent there, drop down, and then there's like 3 pieces of meat you have to like put onto this elevator there, or 2 pieces, I mean. And these 2 pieces are also like the ship cycle kind of dictates how they're gonna fall. So that first piece there is like, that's perfect. Oh my goodness. And then the last piece here, either this can drop straight down or it can drop all the way to the other 2 meats. Yeah, like that. That's almost perfect. That's very lucky. Yeah, and then he's gonna drop down and pull the lever to create like the sausage, and then he swings into the tunnel there, the shaft there.
I just want to say right now, I think Rodney has made one of my favorite moments in the show. Why?
The show pleaser.
As well, I did post all our racers links in chat for anyone who wants to check them out. They've all been very good racers so far. It's been a very fun run to go. Wait, did Zyra try the clip?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I was currently gathering the link, so that's why I was having Larks to check that out. But why? Well, I do give respect to both of the people who went for it. I do give that respect there.
They give the chat what they want.
Although I do want to mention once again that the skip was literally found yesterday, as in let's see really quick. According to the speedrun.com page, it was found. Let's see.
Isn't it like 12 hours ago or something? It's really not that long ago. It's crazy.
As of right now, it was 13 hours ago. I don't know why they went for this. It was found 13 hours ago. So, we have a chef dodge here on Rodney's end. The chefs, some of you have been asking how do they work, what do they do? The chefs are kind of more of a standard enemy. They chase after you, they'll be slightly faster, and when they approach you, they will go for a grab. It's actually very easy to duck the grab, as you saw there. We ended up having the dodge, which is going to allow Rodney to get in the elevator much faster. As well, we'll be kind of be seeing this. Gearkey already has done the whole section. And Gearkey right now is actually going for a door skip. Let's see if it lands. First try down. Let's see if they go for the second try or go for this shaft. They are... Ooh. Grabbing that door is going to be tough. Right now, though, let's focus back to Rodney, where Rodney's going to be getting this key. By going around the table, that's going to manipulate the AI of the chef, which makes him not notice you, so you can just steal the key very easily, therefore getting back to the elevator. Right now, this race can change very much. It looks like Gearkey's still going to be going for the door grab, though. Let's see if they land it.
Yeah, maybe Rodney will nail the skip and be
Rodney
the lead
might
again.
catch back up right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. First try on the same skip. All right, Gearkey has landed it. Rodney is first try no. Let's see if it's going to be the second try. Oh, they might need to... Oh my god, they went for a third try.
Really... Whoa,
oh my god, they got the third try.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah,
all right, now it's a
doing-
massive skip. Both runners are approaching it, both Rodney and Gearkey. The way this is going to work is you have this hook, and you have to grab it at the right time. That's going to allow you to phase through the wall and warp to the other side of the room. It looks like both runners right now are waiting on these hooks. It looks like Gearkey has landed the skip, and Rodney is going for round 2, and both of them are zooming across the room on the finale of the kitchen. And from here on, in just a straight shot. This is a very close race between... runners here.
Oh, we can watch Sarah bait out the chef again. This AI manipulation is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, we can
So-
get a more in-depth look at this.
Yeah, so here you need to slide straight to the right, otherwise the chef will always grab you.
It's also especially mean too, because especially when you're learning this game, it was a very old dodge there, because if you try dodging into the chef or if you touch him at all, you'll warp into his hands. It's really mean.
Yeah. It's pretty jank.
God, I think that's the fastest I've ever talked.
So here, the moment the chef turns around is when you can try to sneak past him. So here Zara's gonna sneak past him right now. And then you need to jump towards the table. You can grab the key and then you can basically juke the chef. So he'll like go to the table, then Zara leaves. There you go. Perfect.
I'm happy that that's still used today, because that's like one of the only things I ever found for the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's a fun strategy. Messing with AI is quite big, and right now the other runner's just kind of climbing the maw, a little bit of ease there. Let's see how Zyra does on the door grab. Let's see what they're gonna go for, and first try door grab. That is incredibly respectable. And let's see how they do on the tab skip here. And also, this goes back to kind of the cycles of when you get here, the hook's gonna be at a different spot. Might be getting a second try. Third
Flipping
try.
through the wall is honestly really hard. Like you have to jump the moment the key angles, basically.
Yeah.
That is really tough.
It's really awkward as a jump because, as you mentioned, going too early, you're not like you'll just bounce, and then there it is. And yeah, so for the plot of this game, kind of going back to the story, where it's a bit of an ease of tension right now, because now everyone is kind of just going to the buffet area. You kind of find yourself on this boat mysteriously, and then you kind of learn that things aren't what they seem, and it's actually a buffet. You're gonna get some heavy Spirited Away vibes right now, in fact. And then there's gonna be something about the the darkness of humanity and stuff like that. It's a very fun game worth playing.
I mean, there's a lot of like symbolism and like theories, fan theories.
Yeah. And then I think it's a pretty open-ended plot, so depending on how you perceive the game, could heavily vary into this. And right now, we still have plenty of skips, and this can still be anyone's race. It is very neck and neck between Yurki and Rodney, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, there's like a few pretty tough skips coming up soon. I think Yurki will do the first tough skip after he jumps this.
I wonder, I imagine there might be going for the sausage skip. I imagine.
I hope they will. Yeah,
Let's
there you
see.
go. So Yurki
Let's
is
see.
going for the sausage skip.
Oh, he's going for it.
Yep, he got
Oh my god. Oh my god, he landed sausage skip.
Yeah, that's a really tough skip. So basically you jump at an angle. So you jump at an angle towards the sausage and it like flings you up. But if you're too fast, then you can get grabbed. But if you're too slow, you can also get grabbed. So.
Right now we have Rodney going for sausage skip. I'll go in the normal way now. It's a respectable effort. But you can kind of see the difference of what sausage skip does here. And it's incredibly difficult. Like, the timing of being able to jump on that is just ridiculously small. As well, if you do mess it up, you get grabbed. As well, we have Girki going for another skip right now. He's going to just kind of... Oh, wait. Oh, he baited out the attack.
Yeah, everyone, like, every runner does something different there. Some runners jump on top of that guy, and others, like, bait out his grab.
I want to see what all the runners are going to go for right now. Let's see. Also, it looks like Zara entering the buffet. And we have Rodney approaching... Wait! Oh, Girki just got grabbed by the chef!
Yeah, so Girki basically did the slide past the chef, but he got glitched back into the chef's hand. Pretty...
Also,
pretty,
I just want to know, I saw Rodney jump onto the chef!
Yeah.
All right, this is gonna be anyone's round. Let's see. Okay, Gyuki gets the dodge. Rodney going for the dodge. Oh, he doesn't even get the, he just zooms in there. That is a very bold maneuver. Now, I just see what Zyra does. We saw Zyra come up to a few of the skips that we've seen. Right now, we're kind of entering a chase sequence that's a little bit kind of like an auto-scroller for this game. You can't really run too out of stamina. You'll be at a blank slate at a certain point. So you can notice our runners are just jumping. There's a stamina system in this game, but depending on how it goes, most of the runners are very tactfully maneuvering this. So right now, we're kind of going for these. Let's see how Zyra's going to be taking some of these skips coming up, though.
Yeah, I hope Zyra does sausage skip.
I hope so, too. Also, it should be mentioned that both Rodney and Gyuki will be approaching the next upcoming and the last hunger skips of the game.
Yeah, these hunger skips are also a bit easier because you can, like, look at the planks on the floor. Like, where you need to trip, basically.
It looks like Rodney's actually taking the lead with the hunger skip there. Looks like it's about tied right now, I think.
Yeah, it is tied. It's actually incredible.
Also, for
like,
all our hard work.
Yeah, it's almost frame perfect tied. Also, Gyuki and Rodney are gonna do an elevator skip, which is my favorite skip of the game.
God, they ate that gnome at the exact same time. Yeah. That's morbid.
Okay,
like,
I'm gonna
literally
see
at the
how
same
Zyra
time.
does this skip here.
Alright, let's see how Zyra does. Also, the elevator skip is going to...
Is he gonna jump over, or is he gonna bait? Oh, he's doing the jump. I love that version. That's my favorite version of it.
It's fun. And then the elevator skip, let's see if they landed.
And Gyuki nailed the elevator skip.
Perfect.
At the same time.
That is so trippy. It should load in the same time. It looks like Rodney had a bit of a faster load, so you can... Let's see what happens. Normally, you'd be using IGT for this in terms of timing, but, you know, for today's, we were keeping this in mind. Although, I do want to mention, Rodney did go for a kitchen clip.
Yeah.
when he had a massive lead.
Mad lad.
The absolute mad lad. Once you get to the end of the game, it's mostly straightforward. At this point, there's still a lot that can happen, but it's mostly just gonna be clean playing from here on out. And it's still gonna be anyone's game. Looks like Rodney has a slight lead.
Zyra's coming up with the hunger skips. Yeah, so the next part here, where Gyuki and Rodney are heading to, is like the final section of the game. There will be like a small chase sequence and a boss fight, pretty much, and that's about it.
Also, props to Zyra for landing all 3 hunger skips.
And now it's Zyra's turn for the elevator skip.
So we can explain the trick more now that we have a singular focus on it. The way this is going to work is you're going to kind of run on the railing on the top there, and that's going to allow you to get more speed and just be able to get to the ladder earlier, and you'll be able to get in that elevator before the lady closes it. Normally, the elevator closes on you, and then you have to... you'll see right now. They pretty much had it for the most part, it should be mentioned now. It is a bit of a tight entry, so... If you don't make it, it's okay. You just have to push the button. And actually, you know what? We'll call that an example. That's just showing the trick. That's what it is. They had it.
Basically, the jump from the ledge to the ladder dictates whether or not you're gonna be able to pull off this. Because if you don't jump far enough up the ladder, then you're never gonna have like enough time to jump into the elevator. So Zyra was like a bit too late with this jump, but it was still a pretty good attempt, honestly.
I also just want to mention that the only actual difference in this race is currently the one load that happened, and this race is pretty much tied. I'm gonna declare it a tie. I know it won't be a tie. I'm gonna declare it one.
Yeah, I mean, it's so close to a tie, it's honestly crazy.
Well, I mean, they were like they entered the gnome at the same time. They entered the elevator at the same time. The only difference is the slight load difference. Outside this, they both are playing phenomenally well.
Yeah, maybe one of them has a 3080 and the other doesn't.
Also, anyone joining in right now, we just started the show. We'll be doing plenty of Little Nightmares today, so if you missed anything, don't worry. We'll have more coming up. So the way this fight works is pretty simple. You just kind of need to face the mirror to the lady here. She'll normally try to spawn in different angles to try to throw you off, but you just have to hit her with the mirror, and then time actually happens once the mirror breaks, which will be coming up soon on both Rodney and Gearkey's end. We're about to hit time for Rodney after this next lady hit, after the next mirror hit here. Once they kind of hits the knockback, there is time on Rodney. We're about to hit time on Gearkey here. There's time on Gearkey. Yeah, that was just the load difference right there.
Yeah, for sure. That's honestly just a tie.
And we're gonna watch Zara finish up the rest of this. Let's see if they continue playing it out. Where though they absolutely can. They can absolutely keep going. You can watch the ending.
Yeah, also, like, the boss fight, the lady has, her spawn is, like, fixed. Like, where she approaches you is, like, in a fixed pattern, so you can, like, see... You can, like, already preemptively tell where you have to, like, turn your mirror to.
It does look like Rodney did not eat the lady there.
Aww.
Oh my god, he's doing kitchen clip again! If he lands it, he can. He lands it, he can go for it. Let's see how the final boss goes here for Zyra. I knew the moment I saw him load up kitchen. For anyone wanting to see the ending, it's gonna be on Gearkey's screen there. You can see the reward of winning the run. Well, you know, we will give the dub to Rodney, though. Rodney did go for a skip that did end up losing him, like... What, like a 20-second lead? 40? Yeah, Rodney gets the dub there. Well, Rodney gets the dub. I want to mention that once again. All right, Rodney, while we're waiting for the finishing up here, while we're watching Zara's boss fight, I have to ask you, what implored you to go for a speedrun trick that happened 13 hours ago? I just want to mention, by the way, everyone, I want to mention that when we're setting up before the stream started, I was talking with the runners. Larksa could vouch for me on this one, and I asked Rodney if he was going to go for kitchen clip, and then he said no.
Yeah, that's true.
I admire the dedication. That made it a very intense race. I'm gonna say that right now. A very intense race.
Well, yeah, anything for the chat, you know.
As well, Rodney, while we do have you here, we're watching Zara with the final boss here, I do want to ask, people do want to find you on Twitch. Where can they check you out?
It's Cakebomb Rodney on Twitch.
All right. And then you usually do speedrunning Little Nightmares.
It's just any percent for Little Nightmares 1 at the moment.
Hey. Well, you're a very talented runner, and I hope you get that cake clip down. I really hope you can manage that cake clip. God. And looks like we have time for Zyra.
Yep, time for Zara.
All right. Let's see if Zyra wants to join in for talking while we're kind of going to the end of this. I want to see, well, we do have time. We did go pretty underestimate there. I want to see if Rodney can land the clip. We're going for it again.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah, also this opens up a lot of other potential skips in the game. Like, if this is possible, there might be other sections where something similar is possible.
It was close.
It's a frame perfect think this skip is
Yeah,
just
it's really
killing
hard
Rob.
to pull off.
Frame perfect trick learned 13. First performed 13 hours ago.
Yep.
Do we have let's see, Zyra, you want to join us on the call here?
Yo.
All right, I have a question for you.
Yep.
What implored you to go for catch and clip?
I was in last. I might as well have gone further back.
There's a respect for it. It's still a very respectable time you ended up getting, and a very respectable decision.
Yeah, that was my first time doing it. I had no idea what to do.
I heard kitchen clip, and then I was looking because I was finding the links. I like to post people's links so people can check out the runners. And then I'm looking at chat for a moment. I'm like, kitchen clip, kitchen clip.
Yeah, I had Discord pulled up on my phone to try to find the video really quickly to see what to do.
Oh, we do have you here. I do want to ask as well. If people want to find you on Twitch, where can they find you?
You can find me at Zyra X0. I mainly speedrun Little Nightmares, but I also do variety games.
All right. And then as well, I do want to mention, in addition to that, our other runner, GearKey42, can also be found on Twitch at the link I provided in chat, twitch.tv/GearKey42. They're also an absolutely great runner. You want to see a Little Nightmares stuff. They did an amazing job in this race. They did not want to speak, so they're all good there. So I was, providing information. So if you do want to check out any of the runners, there are the links there. It was a very fun run, and I'm very happy to have you all. Before we head on off to the next run, though, anyone else want to add anything on in? Or any shout-outs at all?
Okay, I just want to say that the race was really cool, and I'm proud of the runners. Good job.
I would like to shout out. He's actually running later. Kinhe. He also runs this game, and I call him a lizard because he's like super good.
All right. And how about you, Rodney?
I just can't get the clip. I have no shoutouts. Well, if my brother's watching in the GDQ Twitch channel, hey brother, I messed up.
Hey, you won the race. Yeah, I mean, technically you did not mess up. You did win the race.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was nice seeing you try to do the clip.
Yeah. The absolute cojones of wanting to do a trick that you didn't learn 13 hours ago, that got invented 13 hours ago. I still can't stress that enough. Anyway, I do hope you all enjoyed the Little Nightmares race. Up next, we'll actually be diving more into a singular playthrough of Little Nightmares here, a different category, if you would. We're going to be looking at a category called All Gnomes and Statues with Little Nightmares with Kenny coming up later. But for right now, we are going to be going to a nice wellness break. We like to make sure we stand up here. We like to take our little breaks. So before we do go, I just want to mention that any subs, gifted subs, prime subs, and bits, during this time that are given to GDQ, do help support the channel during the interim time between GDQ events. And as well, if you're interested in volunteering in SGDQ 2021 online, volunteer submissions are open now until April 23rd. And you can go to gamesdonequick.com if you would like to join that. We're going to be right back very quick, so don't go anywhere. And we are back once again. That race, that was an amazing race, and that was a great way to open up today's showcase of Little Nightmares games. I can't get over it, man. 13 hours ago. That skip was found 13 hours ago. I've never seen someone during a race go for a skip out 13 hours ago. God, I love that. I just absolutely love that Rodney went for that. And we had the lead 13 hours ago. I'm good, everyone. Anyway, back to Little Nightmares. If you've enjoyed the game so far, we're going to take a deeper dive. In case anyone did miss it, we are going to be taking another look at a different side of the game. A lot of people were kind of wondering, what's the story about? What's the world of Little Nightmares? Now we're going to be kind of diving into a little bit more of a completionist category, so you can see more of the game and kind of a more in-depth look at these things. The next category that we're going to be doing is Little Nightmares, All Gnomes and Statues, which is an absolutely adorable category ran by Kenny. Take it away.
Hello, my name is Kenny, and I'm going to be running Little Nightmares 1 All Gnomes and Statue category, which is very different than 100%. But it does explore more of the area, the zone, and less skips because we do have to take a detour to find these gnomes, but it's going to be a pretty fun run. And I'm joined with Larxa and Zyra as commentating. Zyra with his run earlier, doing a kitchen skip, which I just learned about right now as well, which I was hoping to be able to do it myself, but unfortunately I cannot do that skip because there is a gnome before that skip. So, all right, I think I'm ready.
All right, on your countdown, we can begin time.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So yes, this is going to be all gnomes and statue category. It's very, very different. Like, it's very similar in terms of like some of the strats and like the routing, but we are going to be grabbing a lot of gnomes and statues. And what's really fun about them is that we get to hug all the gnomes and break all the statues, which is something that I find very adorable in this category. Very different than what, you know, if you do any percent, basically. So in this, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, so what made you choose the cup or the teapot?
Oh, well, everyone was running with their own, and I didn't see the teacup in their run, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the teacup for mine. Just to show off a little bit more of the game and what you can get from doing all the achievements or, you know, collecting all, you know, basically 100%ing the game, essentially. But yeah, so we're coming with our first statue, which is back here. Running and sliding into the statues is definitely the fastest way to break these statues, but it's not very responsive. It's very finicky, and sometimes you can kind of glitch yourself into the statues. So unless you're doing it really delayed, you're probably gonna get stuck in it, and it just wastes time. But if you're comfortable with it, I think it's better to just do that. So yes.
So how many statues are there? Like gnomes?
There is 10 statues and 13 gnomes, and one of the gnomes is the one that you intentionally hug later in chapter 4, which I think everyone saw earlier. When I first ran this game, I was so confused because I was watching the world record holder, and I was counting all the gnomes that he was trying to grab, and I didn't realize that the one that he forcefully ate was one of the gnomes that you grab. So I was like, is this world record wrong? It was really funny. But yeah, so that was one of the gnomes. He was stuck inside the refrigerator, and we helped him out by opening the refrigerator, but he doesn't know, they don't know who I am, so they kind of run away in fear, and I have to like kind of force myself on them and like give them a big old hug to kind of show them that, hey, I'm not anybody crazy, I just want some love. Oh, but yeah.
Oh, well, that's what the last gnome thought. Poor gnome.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah.
What's cool about the DLC is you get the gnomes are actually AI, so they'll help you with puzzles and stuff.
Yes, that is true. It gives more depth in like where these gnomes come from, why are there gnomes, you know, and you know what kind of characters they are in the game. So yeah, basically a little bit about the lore. Yeah, you're basically a little girl in this kind of trapped or stuck in a giant ship called the Maw, and you're just basically trying to get out of it. And if you notice from the previous, you know, during the race, she is incredibly hungry. Periodically she'll get these hunger attacks, and she just needs to eat something. There is a lot of lore, but like you watched previously, there is no text, no dialogue, pretty much nothing that kind of explains the story. So there is a lot of theories online, like fan theories. Maybe if you go onto the developer page, if you go on the Little Nightmares page, you can learn a little bit more about the characters, but there is really no 100% story behind it. It's kind of hard to really deduce what is actually the real story. But it's fun. I definitely recommend anybody who's interested in the story to give it a try, or give some videos a watch, because they're really fun to watch.
And Kenny, so a question for you: what ended up getting you to run Little Nightmares? Like, what was your motivation of learning the game?
So I'm like I would categorize myself as like an indie horror category, like variety indie horror. So I like to find like indie games. I know I run Bendy and the Ink Machine and some other indie games like that. And I don't remember who got me into this, but someone mentioned it. I missed it. That's all right. Someone mentioned Little Nightmares to me, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And I really ended up enjoying the game a lot. And if I enjoy a game, I tend to just want to try to speedrun it, which became the thing. And I really, really enjoyed it. Like, it was really fun. Like, learning the tricks, meeting the people in the community. Everyone was very friendly. Taught me a lot during my first week of just learning the game. Like, I think the top 5 runners in my chat just like teaching me a bunch of stuff. It was really, really cool. Really wholesome. So what I did right there was I went up to trigger a invisible invisible loading scene, which allows me to go back down, grab the gnome, and then do a really quick reload checkpoint to spawn me back up here, which saves like, I don't know, like maybe 15-20 seconds instead of having to climb back up. And then we're gonna do another one right here. So we did the slide, but it didn't break. We're gonna manually break it and then do another reset checkpoint, and then spawn us back to where we were earlier, and then we can proceed with the level.
All the checkpoint abuse. It's really cool. I like it.
There's a ton in this category. Yeah, you abuse a lot of checkpoints.
Yeah. What's really funny is that so I do run Little Nightmares 2 as well, and the controls is slightly different, but what's really big and like what's really different is in this game there is a stamina gauge, like a hidden stamina gauge. And so if you consistently run with Six, then she can get really tired. And I missed it. Yeah, she gets like these weird she like slows down basically. So you have to like manage your stamina gauge, your invisible stamina gauge. And it's kind of hard to do it if you're not conscious of it. But when you like learn the speedruns, you kind of like know at what points you should stop running and what points you want to keep running and stuff like that. And then I'm also at a bad habit of continuously jumping, because in Little Nightmares 2, later you'll see that jumping is primarily a movement in the game. And in this one, it's not. So it's really hard to change the habit from both games.
Yeah, it's pretty different for both. Like sometimes in Little Nightmares 2, you'll just like keep running, and I'm like, where's my stam? Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we got our first bread, our first food, and now we're just gonna progress. So yeah, in this little level, there's only one gnome that we'll see. Earlier you didn't see this part because you don't have to see this area, but in this one, after you turn off the electricity, you actually go left instead of going right, because there is a gnome trapped in a cage. And so we'll be exploring a little bit more of the zone. So yeah, they were mentioning it previously, but there is a world to it, of course. And earlier the box was kind of tilting more towards the left, which I didn't feel comfortable trying to do the skip there. And so I went around and jumped from the plank instead of where I just like emerged from. Sometimes the world tilt kind of helps you, and then sometimes it kind of backfires. So you just have to adapt to like, you know, at what point you're at and like how the world tilt is feeling.
Got a good old ship cycle.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Oh, will you be doing the baby version of the pulley skip? Or
Oh,
the...
absolutely.
Okay.
I cannot do the big boy way. It's too hard
Holy
for me.
skip is incredibly daunting, it should be
Yeah.
mentioned. like our runners made it look very easy, in fact, and the way that pulley skip ends up working, like again, you have to like bounce off the wall, land in exactly the right spot. If you land wrong, you die, and you lose a lot of time.
Correct.
Also, I see a question in chat. Kenny, do you run this on keyboard or mouse or controller?
Oh, I forgot the name. I actually do both. So there are some tricks that is a lot easier with keyboard and mouse. And then there are some skips that are much easier on controller. Like for example, I'm actually using both in this situation right here because I need to pan the camera down a little bit. So I'm using my pinky to kind of move the camera downwards here so it's easier for me to see. And then I kind of like, you know, use the controller to move. So I kind of use both in this situation, but generally I will always use controller unless the trick requires me to use keyboard and mouse. So I do a little checkpoint reload here because it actually sets up the lights here to be in a pretty good cycle. If you don't do a checkpoint reload, then you have to wait a second to, maybe more than a second, like 10, maybe 5 seconds for the light to kind of like move and adjust. So we just do a checkpoint reload because I think it's faster. All right. So you'll notice that when I'm climbing up these ledges, ideal way to climb them is to try to never have to actually like climb it. If you can get an instant climb, then that's ideal and that saves a bunch of time. But in the situation, you know, it differs from position to position, I suppose. It's very difficult. All right.
Also, as mentioned a little bit earlier, so why is the category all gnomes and statues instead of 100%? Or what's like the difference between the two categories essentially?
Okay, yeah. So there are these little lanterns that you find in the game, and they're supposed to act as like a checkpoint. But what's really funny and ironic is that there's a bunch of checkpoints that they give you in this game, just by like just walking across it or like just, you know, just hovering over it. And so it's kind of weird that there are these lanterns that you kind of have to like light up. And so the difference between 100% and this category is that in this category, you don't really care about the lanterns as much. You only focus on the statues and the gnomes. And right now, as you can see, like 6 is a little bit slower here, so I kind of have to like wait a little bit for her stamina to kind of gain again before I can start running. Okay, it's really tough to like manage it. Let me see if I'm good here. Okay, I'm good. I'm back to normal.
And another thing to mention.
okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Basically, I was gonna say is there's a lot of lanterns, and I don't know. I just find it kind of weird to have to light up every single one, so I don't do it.
I know one of the big reasons as well that this category is split is because the game's kind of weird for this, but for the gnomes and the statues, you'll actually in the menu get a counter. So it'll say, "Oh, you've hugged this many gnomes, or you've collected this, or you've broken this many statues." But the lanterns don't have that counter for some reason. So when you're verifying it, it's a lot easier. Like once you're done with the run, we'll also be doing this. So make sure that Kenny does get all the gnomes and statues. We'll kind of be going through the main menu to go look like, oh, did you break them all? But the lanterns doesn't have that easily checked, which is why this category got segmented that way.
Yep, correct.
Also, the classic question, the run is indeed live. Kenny is doing this run live. However, as always, chat is pre-recorded.
Yes, it is a VOD.
Wait, doesn't he have to put a shoe on his head to prove it's live though?
Here, I'm gonna throw this
confirm.
monkey right now. Boom, hit it, score.
Yeah.
See, we actually scripted that earlier.
Yeah.
No, the run is live. Chat's pre-recorded. We scripted chat earlier, remember that.
Yeah, what I like to do is I like to climb this elevator. I don't know why. It's just something to do while you're waiting for this elevator to kind of like ride down.
Yeah, some people go nuts in here.
Like
What
that.
you
You can do these super jump boosts. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So right
just be
here,
jumping
I'm gonna
through.
be doing a keyboard. Oh, I missed it. I second guessed myself there. So I use keyboard and mouse to do hunger skip because it's way easier. I think all runners technically do this.
So what's the inputs for hunger skip? Why is it like easier?
Oh, okay. So the way you do hunger skips, let me try to get this one. Yes, we got it. Okay.
Nice.
The way hunger skips work is you're forcing Six to trip. And to force her to trip, it's basically moving one direction, but quickly tapping the opposite direction. And so on a controller, it's way harder to do that because, you kind of have to like move your Joy-Con like left and right, which is a waste of time because you're forcing Six to kind of jerk back and forth. But on a keyboard, it's a lot easier because you just hold, your left or right button and then you just tap your opposite direction, which is a lot more consistent.
Yeah, way easier.
Okay, I just want to make sure I hit every single gnome. Yeah, I got the gnome and I got the statue. Okay. It is very easy to forget, especially if you primarily run any %, so I have to check myself to make sure I hit them right.
So for every gnome you miss, you gift 5 subs.
Yes,
Let's do that.
let's do that. Oh no! Oh no!
So between the all the levels, Kenny, which would you say is probably your favorite to go through? You have the prison, the lair, the kitchen, I think the buffet, and then the ladies' quarters. So which of those is your favorite to go through?
I think kitchen is probably my favorite, but it's also the place that you can lose the run the most. I think, in my opinion, kitchen is like where a lot of action can happen. You have a lot of skips, you have a lot of out of bounds, or like not out of bounds, but like breaking the sequence. Oh no! Okay, we gotta reset there. He actually got triggered there, and what happens is that he actually opens the door, and so you don't have enough time to actually be able to pull the crank. So you gotta safer to just reset checkpoint here. Oh no! Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, this works. Climb. So there is a gnome in the vents here. In the any %, you never climb back here. Oh, this is one of the lanterns right there on my left. That's one of the lamps that you would have to light up if you were doing 100%. But luckily, I'm not doing it. All right, so there's the gnome. He's running away from me because he's scared of me. I would be scared too if someone with a teapot head was chasing me.
Someone made the
nice
joke
bug.
earlier, but so does that make you Cuphead?
Ah, I think it does.
Ah.
So there is a really
Like
interesting
origin
movement
story.
in this shoe area, but it's kind of hard to do. If you land into the shoes and you do a quick slide animation, then you can actually, like that, you can actually gain a little bit more distance than you normally would. But it's very difficult to do. I never get it 100% of the time. I find this really funny because he kind of teleports just what he want. Wait a second. He never does that. He
Are you
always.
saying?
Oh, what?
Are you saying?
He never
happens.
climbs over
Never
that
happens.
pipe. He always just clips right through. I think
Would
it's
you
'cause-
say?
That is so weird.
I guess that's
it's a
fitting
GDQ.
enough.
It's a GDQ. It's a GDQ thing.
Marathon luck.
Yeah,
Mark, so
marathon.
would you like to say it?
I've never seen this happen before.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
works. I'll take that. There it is. That's never happened before.
Yeah, it's never happened before.
I think it's because I moved the
I think I say
camera
that
left.
every run.
That's why.
I can't remember the last episode we had where we didn't say that. Because it happened 2 weeks ago. It happened 2 weeks before that. And I think at least one run per episode has somehow managed to have something that's never happened before happen before. Happen
this
now.
this also never happens. Can I please get in? Oh, there you go.
Oh, what the?
We're cursing the rudder.
I'm actually getting cursed right now.
Don't worry, I do it to a lot of people. I remember a couple months ago we had on an Eternal Enigma, and he was doing Sound 4, and he still gives me plenty of flack for this because apparently I unlucked him into a death hallway.
Oh no.
Apparently, it was the worst hallway he's ever seen in that game through his years of running it.
Oh.
And many runners have had bad times because I said, good job. So, let's hope that doesn't happen here.
Yeah, I'm already terrified.
So that was another statue inside the little, like, in the below the boards. And then we do another checkpoint reload because it actually sets up the janitor to be in a position where it's actually better for us. Because if we were to go back and then walk back up, he would be in a position where he would probably, like, he would 100% grab me. And so we do that little checkpoint to set him up a little bit nicer. All right. Grab the shoe. Hit the button. We're gonna run away. All right. We broke one statue, and then there's one gnome in the piano room, and he's hiding underneath this platform right here. We're gonna scare him off.
So, who's your favorite gnome in the run?
The one that I eat. I mean, hug.
Aw.
Cause he gives me energy.
Wait, which one?
That's fair.
The
okay.
one in the guest house in the
Ah,
the what is it, the what do they call it, like the buffet area, I suppose.
yeah.
Yeah.
A better
Spirit
question
of the
is,
Wind area.
do the gnomes have names?
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do, but I would it's spoilers, but there is one that does, technically.
What?
The one that,
Didn't even know that.
yeah, I don't want to say it because
You have to play the game.
Oh no. Oh, it worked. Okay.
Wait.
Okay, it worked.
Yeah. that
And
was
going
super
back to
fun.
that skip we talked about earlier, because I remember that one we commentated quite a lot on. And like we mentioned, it's not easy.
Yeah. There's 3 outcomes. 1, you can aggro him early and then he kind of glitches out and you can get through it. 2, you just somehow escape him altogether. Or 3, he just grabs you. And what's really cool here is you can flip through the TVs and see which one you want. And that's probably the creepiest. Well, the first one is definitely the creepiest because it's the song, but everything else is pretty interesting.
I literally never knew that. And I run the game. Oh my goodness. Kind
Alright,
of.
I'm gonna play a little bit safe here because he has been grabbing me lately, so I'm just gonna play a little bit safe there. Ideally, once his second foot goes into the door, you can run away immediately, but I've been getting caught by him, so I'm just gonna play a little safer there. Alright. So I think we got a good cycle here. I don't have to wait for the piano, so we just jump right through. Nice. I think we should name all 13 of them. We should. But I forgot I was gonna say something and then I forgot now. It's something to do with the lore and I can't remember now. Oh, so there is a theory where if Six were to eat something, she gains the knowledge and the powers of whatever she eats. So one theory that kind of backs this up is that when she eats the gnome, she understands how to fight the geisha. And when she eats the rat, she knows how to navigate through the rest of the maw and stuff like that. It's very, very interesting.
It's kind of like
Yeah, that
what
makes
happens when you
sense.
eat books.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see how this janitor skip goes.
Let's hope so too. All right, I'm low on energy here, so I'm gonna try my best. Oh yeah, I got grabbed. So I need to be full energy or full stamina there because you need to run pretty quickly after the bait. But managed my stamina pretty poorly there.
Well, hey, we'll call this good time for an exact breakdown.
Oh, what am
of
I
how the
stuck
trick
on?
works.
Okay, I gotta restart again. I got stuck on something and I couldn't move right.
All
There you
good.
go.
So yeah, we'll use this as an exact breakdown of how the trick ends up working.
Okay, I gotta reset again. So you need to bait his first attack, or the skip, or this strategy doesn't work.
Yeah,
Okay, there we go.
it's very specific.
You want to
Nice.
time it like as right as the door closes. You want to jump.
Okay, I think I messed this up. Yeah, I did. So I was a little bit slow there to triggering his because you need to basically break one of the bars before he even gets close to you, and so if you're too slow, then he just activates. Like he can actually grab you there, which is very unfortunate, but that's all right. Well, we'll do the intended strat, and the intended strat is
Also,
just to wait up here.
Given the, because I've heard a few methods of how doing this, so the breakdown that I always use for the janitor skip, because you can actually do that skip blindfolded. It's one of the coolest skips in the game. All you have to do is get into position and use your ears.
Ah,
There's a little grunt he does, it's like, whoo! And once you hear that grunt, immediately sprint jump forward. If you do that, you'll land it 100% of the time, every time if you have the stamina.
okay, I'm stuck on something. Yeah, there's these weird invisible walls. Like 6 just
The game's pretty,
refuses.
yeah, it can get pretty finicky at times, unfortunately.
Yeah, you cut his limbs off, and you can hear him just screaming in pain.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, that's what horror games do. They give you those moments.
It's like Spirited Away, except you're chopping off people's arms.
All right, so I'm gonna switch over to the keyboard again because there are some hunger skips that I'm gonna be performing here. The first one, it doesn't. This first one, I don't need to actually trip 6, but I need to kind of duck in a position here. If I duck past the checkpoint, it should work, and I think it did. Yeah, we're good. So over here's the next one. I just do hunger skips, and that worked. There we go. And then this last one, you can do a hunger skip here, but I think it's faster just to jump all the way and get as close as possible to the rat because this third animation is really fast. So I just keep jumping until I get close enough, trigger it, and then just walk directly to the rat. All right. So since we ate the rat, we now know how to navigate through the kitchen because rats like to go through vents and stuff, which is what we're going to be doing very soon. Oop.
So 6 has all the knowledge of a rat.
So there is a
Rat
secret
now.
room in here. I think a lot of people missed this during their first playthrough. And it's a weird and creepy shrine for the geisha.
What? I've never seen this. My goodness.
Yeah, it's really
That's
cool.
also,
You get to explore a lot.
It's part of the reason as well I wanted this category for Kenny to show it off, because you get a lot of interesting rooms that a lot of people don't get to see.
Yeah. All right, so I'm against the world tilt here, so I have to kind of push it a little bit further, but that's okay. So yeah, unfortunately, I can't do a kitchen skip. Or I can't even attempt it. Oh, did I get it? Okay, we're good. Because I have to do the normal strat because there is a gnome that we're gonna miss. Oop. Okay, there we go. All right, so I switched to keyboard again here because it's easier to go through these rafters using keyboard and mouse than it is with the controller because it's not apparent, but because of the camera changes, the way you move with the controller does change. So if you're constantly moving left and the camera tilts a different angle, then you're not really going left anymore. You're kind of going diagonal-ish. So that's one advantage of using keyboard and mouse because you know going left will always go left. So this strat is a little bit different at any percent. We want to actually trigger the chef a little bit earlier here because we need to get past him later on. Instead of going immediately to the elevator, we have to get past him. So we're gonna trigger him early, and then we're gonna go ahead and grab the key. And he is quite deaf. Like, I would assume that he would hear me from that, but he doesn't. So that's good. And then you can hear the audio cue that he opens the door, so we're pretty much safe now. So the reason why we have to trigger him is because we have to actually go back to the bathroom because there's a little gnome that's hiding in the bathroom. So we're gonna hug him and then keep going. Go ahead. Sorry.
He's just trying to use the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me you're not going to go for kitchen clip?
Unfortunately, there's actually 2 gnomes that I have to grab. So kitchen skip is completely impossible for this run, for this category. There's another gnome, like just running away from me. Come on, come here. He's somehow got inside this little jar. I don't know how, but he got in here. We're gonna grab him.
He was hungry.
Yeah. And then we're gonna do another checkpoint reload because we need to set the chef in a position that is favorable for us. Because if not, then we have to wait a whole cycle, which is kind of slow.
Also, a lot of people wonder, how can the chef be upstairs but also downstairs? The answer is he's just really fast.
Yeah. There's
really nothing else.
Yeah, there's no 2. There's only 1.
He's just really fast.
I mean, they're not twins, I don't think. So I think there's only 1 person.
Oh, the one little detail I do like is that they have like pictures of the chefs.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look in the room.
Some theories say that there's actually 3 of them. Because there's another one that's in the buffet area, and it's not the same ones as here. But I don't really agree on that theory. But
he's just really fast.
Yeah, he's just really fast. All right, so people say that this is RNG, but I believe I can manipulate it. Oh yeah.
Okay, let's see.
All right, that's 1.
Okay, nice. This is the hard part here.
Oh, okay, it is RNG.
It's the god ham. Well, it really just relates to how much can you channel, I guess, your inner ham.
Mm-hmm. Not enough, apparently. So there is another room in here which has a statue. I can never break it with the slide. It's unfortunate. So be careful not to reset checkpoint there, because if you do, the ham gets back. Like the ham resets. I did that once and I regretted it. So. This gnome can easily be missed because he's just hiding here underneath the table. You hug him, and that's it. So that's all the gnomes and statues in this area. So a good visual cue that I use is if the shadow hits 3 squares, that's enough. But I need to turn, and it should be good.
Yeah, that's smart.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of eyeball it.
All right, we're in the freezer now. So my favorite scream is coming up here. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with it.
Ah, yes.
Hey, my favorite scream. This scream to me reminds me of the scream in Luigi's Mansion. One of the ghost screams.
Yeah.
They are so similar.
It's like the E.
Yeah.
Like they're really just like, I love those guys. Also, a neat. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's fine. You go.
I was gonna say a neat thing about this category is you don't actually have to do the door skip that people are doing in the 90% run, because you actually do need to go into the trash chute because there's a statue down there.
Correct. That is probably like everyone's most hated skip because it is very difficult to do. Like you can try 2 times, but if you give it a 3rd time, you're probably gonna get grabbed, and it's really sketchy. It's really, really tough to be able to do it. Like there's multiple setups on how to do it, but it depends on every person's preference, but it's still very difficult to pull off in a run. Hello, can you please open the door? All right. So yes, we do have to go into the garbage chute because there is a statue that's hiding. That's a little neat trick there. You can actually just kind of like climb to the top part of that.
Cool. I never knew that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really fun. So I got this statue stuck somehow by sliding, so I'm just not gonna slide for that one.
Like it just was in like the corner and you couldn't get it out.
Yeah, like it was just stuck in the corner, and for some reason 6 was just refusing to either climb on the hill or grab the statue. Like she wanted to grab everything else except the statue. It was really strange.
Also, we kind of glossed over the skip in the race, but essentially what this room ends up skipping is the whole. It's like you have to like climb on some plates, reverse the hooks. There's a lot you have to do. But Kenny's not gonna do that.
Yeah, this skip is amazing. It saves so much time. Yes, we got the jump. Okay, so you have to be careful with that because if you do land on the top part and you go too far right without triggering these sets of hooks, then it actually gets stuck. So you have to make sure you're like far enough left before you go right to keep this hook gondola thing going and active. If
Oh, yeah,
not,
it's
it
hilarious.
resets. It resets. It literally soft locks you. I think you can't even if you do a checkpoint reload. I think it just blocks it.
What ends up you can go back and you can redo the room, but if you try essentially going forward, the hooks just freeze. Like they won't move. They just hang,
Yeah.
and then you pretty much eat a death in order to have to do that.
So there's another gnome here with a little cute with the lighter. We do a checkpoint here to spawn us back up here because it's a lot faster than having to climb back up and go through the vent or going through the hole. Here I use keyboard and mouse because again, with the cold camera angle changing, going left or going right, sorry, on the controller is way it's really unstable. So I just use my keyboard here because it's a lot more consistent.
I like how this category speedruns affection. You instantly hug and then it ends.
Yeah, the last gnome gets all the affection.
Yes,
Oh.
all the affection. All right, this is by far my favorite scene. Like, it just shows how incredibly massive the maw is compared to you. It's just insane. Like when I first saw this during my first playthrough, like I was just like, oh my gosh, this is incredible.
I'm also 99% certain that solar flare has probably killed the most runners out of anything in the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like when
Yeah.
you're learning this game and you're just get out here, oh, it's nice and easy, I can make the jump, and then you just jump off the boat.
Yeah, you cannot jump early. It's death, 100% death if you jump too early.
And then you can't see because of the solar flare, so...
Look at that little
Tried there
seagull.
many times and felt super embarrassed.
Yeah, so I don't know if I should say this, but it is a horror night. A theory is said that the people that they're eating, or sorry, the things that they're eating are previous guests that came here to eat in the past. So
Where did you read that?
it's a theory where essentially, because you notice that there's a bunch of meats that are way too big to fit like 6's size. So where are they coming from? And there's not any cows, no chicken, nothing. And so people are theorizing that it's the previous guests that come to and eat at this buffet. After they eat until they get a coma, they the chefs come in and do something. And what's really interesting is there is a scene that you'll see, which in the any percent you did not get to see in this category, that kind of proves the theory a little bit better, which I'll announce it a little bit more when we get closer to it.
I think I just eating ham on the table.
But there is like
Just chilling.
there's no like animals in the ship. I mean, there's a fish,
just
but
chilling.
that makes sense because they're in the ocean. Like,
Also,
look
I
at the
see it in
size of
chat
the meat.
as oh, it's big meat, yeah.
Yeah, it's big meat.
I
What
do
did you
see it in
see,
chat
Chad?
though for a lot of people who are asking, oh, can you learn how to run this game? Yeah, there is a plethora
Mm-hmm.
of guides on the speedrun.com page, and there's a very friendly community of people for the most part, I'd say. And then you can, it's very easy to learn the game, I think.
Yeah. If you go on speedruns.com and search for the Little Nightmares page, there is a link that will take you to the Discord community page, And on the Discord community page, you will find any to every skip, glitch, out of bounds, and so many people that will be more than happy to help you learn it. And again, there is also a lot of guides on YouTube that teaches you all the things you need to know. In fact, I even have a guide on TikTok that I teach this entire run on, because it was pretty quick.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
And the Discord community is both for Little Nightmares 1 and Little Nightmares 2. So if once you're done with this game and you want to try the Little Nightmares 2 one, I almost missed that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I
then
saw it. Oh god.
then the community is definitely there. You only need to join one Discord for it.
Yeah, the only Little Nightmares game that people don't run is Very Little Nightmares, but it's like a mobile game, so.
Right, yeah. Okay, let's see if I can get this. Nice, we got it. All right, so for the any percent, as you saw earlier, you do bait this chef to come out and then you go into the elevator immediately. But if you notice on the top right, or like more on the right side, you'll see that there's a statue. So I kind of have to go through this room to get it. And we're gonna bait the chef to come because we need to get him closer and fast. Because if we bring him too slow, then he kind of idles in this bathroom for way too long. And so we try to bait him as soon as possible so he can just immediately go out like that. Perfect. Oh, I don't want the tissue paper. I want the can. Fake mirror. Fake mirror. Alright. And so for this one, I'm switching back to keyboard.
Also, big congrats to Six for just surviving the pane of glass just falling entirely above her.
Yeah.
I know it's a game, but yeah.
So earlier I mentioned that, you know, the chefs are doing something in this room. It's weird that the chef is cooking in the buffet area, and it sounds mushy, like, I don't know, like people maybe, and so that's why people say that theory. You never know. And there's another room that's right here. I'll notice is that there are guests that eat until they. I don't want to say it too soon. They eat until they pass out. So it's kind of like,
nice.
you know, what's going on in this place. All right, so that's Nomi number 12, I think. So there's only one more left, and it's the most special one.
Well, you have to give it a hug. Clearly,
Yeah.
the game will change, right?
Yep, we have to give it a hug. I just love like the expressions that these guests are giving. They really want to eat me.
Well, they're hungry. They haven't eaten in minutes.
All right, so this trick here is really difficult. I need to figure out. It's this one, I think. I missed it anyway. I always miss that hunger skip. It's hard. I can't do it. And this one is right before this plank, which I got it. Nice. And then the last one is right before the shadow starts. Or actually, no. It's right before that. Did I get it right? I did. Okay. Yay! Give me a hug.
Hey, for all your hugs, you get a sausage. Sausage.
Yeah, see, it's just a big old hug right here. There's nothing going on.
Oh, maybe you can like explain Shadow 6? It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, if you look up.
Yeah.
And Shadow 6 is gone. She left.
So there's a really cool skip here. So you can actually like get into the elevator like here with if you do it timely, like fast enough, but unfortunately we can't because there is a statue that we I don't even know how I broke that one. I just stomped it.
You rammed into it.
Yeah.
Clearly, it wasn't actually anything violent with the gnome. You just, you hugged it out of existence.
Yeah, just hugged it. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry, Chad. I just hugged it. I just hugged it to death.
Not to death, to non-existence. That's what it is.
Right. Exactly.
That's how I usually hug people.
Six
Oh.
just put the gnome in the teacup.
So I like to say that this run is actually really good because I'm 2 minutes ahead of my PB. Somehow.
Well, good job.
So a little fun fact, I just started learning this category probably like a week and a half ago.
I'm proud of you.
And,
You did great.
and I'm very surprised I have this much time saved already.
Wait, did you beat my time?
I don't think so. Your time
Hold
is
on, hold on.
47, right? 46?
I'm checking right now. I don't remember what I haven't ran this category in a hot minute. A lot of people come on the show and they beat my times immediately as a result of coming on the show. So wait a minute. I have 4705.
4705.
You beat 47. Get 4706, and then we're all good here.
I don't think I can. Because my current pace, it looks like it's a 4755 or 25.
Oh, gotcha. Hey, my
So
time
maybe
stands
Yeah, for now.
for now. Yeah, that's actually a recurring theme, though. A lot of runners, when they come on the show, they end up getting new PBs and stuff like that. I think my favorite was we had Maxi Lobes do Fatal Frame on the show, and he ended up getting a world record for Fatal Frame. So I
Oh my
said,
gosh.
your world record, our world record.
Jeez, that's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's always very fun to watch you push games and categories that might be a bit newer or just kind of a refresh, so to speak. Actually, Larks, I heard you got a PB while preparing for this.
Yeah.
Oh, what
Yeah,
time did you
I
get?
PB'd by like almost a minute, I
Oh,
think.
congratulations.
Also, since we are approaching the finale, actually, Kenny, do you have any shout-outs you want to give it all?
Just one shout out for GDQ for allowing me to run this category. It's always a pleasure to run at GDQ. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's great. I like it. Shout out to the Little Nightmares community for welcoming me to the community and teaching me all this stuff and just having a blast, having races. It's all fun and stuff, and yeah, and shout outs to my commentators and the hosts, of course. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm just a paid actor.
Ah, yes.
Or pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pre-recorded.
That's only chat. The run is live.
Right. So yeah, this fight sequence is pretty much always the same. For the first two, it's different. It's always the opposite of where you're looking at originally, but the last 4 or 5 is always the same spot. So it's gonna be the bottom left here, and then the next one's gonna be the bottom right. The third one is gonna be on the left, and then the fourth one is gonna be on top. So it's not RNG. You can definitely position yourself to get the fastest kill sequence here. But it is a bit finicky, so you do still have to adjust the mirror. So right now I'm looking at the bottom left or bottom right, but it's not gonna be. I still have to kind of wiggle my way to get the reflection. There you go, left side. And then the last one is gonna be a little bit to the left, but on the north side here. And that's time.
All right.
Nice. Oh, really? What?
Wait, do you have an in-game timer up or no?
I do. Mine's 47:17, so it's not.
Yeah, I'm still.
It didn't beat you. But
Hey,
yeah.
well, I'm imagining you'll beat my time soon, but I go ahead and celebrate the run if you wanna go for the the final hug.
Yeah, let's give a big old hug real quick. So
Yeah,
another
just a hug.
yeah. Another reason to why I think the category makes sense, where if she eats somebody, or sorry, hugs somebody, she gains the power / knowledge, because right after this, you'll notice that 6 has the power to suck the soul out of all the guests. But yeah, that is all Nomes and all statue category. Hope you guys enjoyed that.
Although we have to make sure you actually got them.
Yeah. So let's go check. So we do need to check that I actually did get every single one of them, and I really hope I did here. So let's hope.
If you miss one, we're gonna leave the timer running. I'm gonna
Alright,
modify
so-
the category to most. That's all I'll do.
So
I'm gonna change the category name.
2-2. We're gonna check on the bottom right there. So hug gnomes is 3-3. Smash statues is 2-2. 3-3, 2-2. 3-3, 3-3. 4-4, 2-2, and it should be 1-1. Nice, we did it. Woohoo!
All right, good job. I don't have to change the name of the category to most gnomes and statues. It's still all.
It's still all.
And a
yes.
very good job to you, Kenny. A big
Thank
clap.
you.
Everyone can I get a clap for Kenny.
Thank you.
And then as well, if anyone wants to find you on Twitch or anywhere else, where can they find you?
Yeah, so I'm Kenny on both Twitch and YouTube. My social medias, majority of my social media is it's Kenny, so ITS, and then my name Kenny. You can find me literally on like every single platform, TikToks, everything, like Twitter, Instagram. So yeah, and if you like to join the community, you're more than welcome to as well. But definitely join the Discord community, because that's where you're gonna find most of all the really fun runs and runners, and get to meet a really cool amount of people. Like, they're all really awesome. So yeah, thank you for having me.
All right. Anyone else have anything to add really quick before we go to our final run of the night?
I'll be commentating for the next run. The next run is really cool. It's Little Nightmares 2, ran by Larksa.
Yeah,
It's gonna
should
be-
a blast with that one.
It's gonna be great. There are some really scary moments that I hope she
It'll be a
prepares.
good one. It'll be a good one.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna cry in the corner.
Yeah, no,
Um,
she'll do it. She'll be great at it. She's also found a really cool skip that we all use now, and it's such a big save. Like, I love that skip so much. Saves so much time.
And we'll talk more about that when we get
Yep,
there.
correct.
For right now, though, that has been Little Nightmares, All Gnomes, and Statues. We're going to go to a quick wellness break. So I recommend you stand up, stretch your legs, get some water, do whatever you need to make sure you're nice and cozy. We are going to be right back. Before we do go, though, I just want to say that if you are interested in volunteering for SGDQ 2021 online, submissions are now open until April 23rd. So go to gamesdonequick.com to find out how to submit your volunteer application to help with the event. And we're going to be right back. All right, we are back once again. Welcome back, everyone. So now we've taken a great look at Little Nightmares 1. We kind of learned all the secrets, all the tricks, all the various different methods of going through the maw. But this year, we actually had a brand new release continuing the story, or adding more into the story, I should say, of the Little Nightmares franchise, and that is Little Nightmares 2. And recently, after, I think it came out, a month or two ago, roughly, and the speedrun community has absolutely burst through with tons of new tricks, tons of wacky stuff, absolutely bizarre tricks that are really difficult to do and going to be a lot of fun to watch. So anyway, up next, we're going to be having Larksa with Little Nightmares 2. Take it away.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi. Hey, Little Nightmares 2 time. Yeah, this speedrun is pretty different from Little Nightmares 1. The tricks, like the skips in this game, are, yeah, on another level. I'll just put it that way. It's pretty tough, but it's very interesting. There are some very interesting skips in there. So.
Yeah.
All right. Do I start a countdown?
So for time, all you're gonna have to do is count us in. Once you say go, time will begin.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. So I gotta make sure I'm wearing a nice hat. Okay, good.
That's the most important part of the run.
Yeah, I chose the bear hat today.
Bear hat is the best.
It
Yeah, I'm a
is.
big fan of the bear.
See, I like the bandages. I see them like a mummy, dude.
Yeah,
I swear, I feel like the hats make a difference sometimes.
They do. That's why I have a terrible time. I use the
one
bandages.
skip that's easier. There's one skip that's easier actually with the bear hat. You sometimes need to check like the head movement from mono when you're doing like some of the skips you need to like look at his head movement, and it like really helps if you're wearing like a hat where you see his head movement properly. Kind of silly. So yeah, stamina works different in this game. Mono doesn't. So Mono is a name of the main character here, and he doesn't get tired like Six does. So you can just keep sprinting, and you like jump 2 times, and then you have to like sprint. If you jump 3 times, then Mono like staggers a bit, you know, because he's like tired. So that's the way Stam works in Little Nightmares 2.
So, Larks, a quick question for you. I like to ask this question for a lot of the runners on the show. I know this game is recent, but what got you into running, I guess, both Little Nightmares and Little Nightmares 2? I guess more importantly 2, but just the series in general.
I don't know. I just really like the skips. Like, it seemed like a very nice speedrunning game to, like, get into. So, because Little Nightmares 1 is actually one of the first games I ever ran. Okay, the skip is, like, really hard. Oh, there you go. I do that skip with keyboard mouse, because, like, your movement has to be very exact. Doing that with controller is kind of, like, awkward. But yeah, like, first of all, like, almost all the games that I run are, like, horror games. And Little Nightmares 2, Little Nightmares 1 fits perfectly in that category, so... Like, the jump seemed pretty nice and stuff in Little Nightmares 1.
Yeah, this game has a lot of really precise skips compared to the first one. Like, it's very punishing for this game. And what's even worse is that if you miss a skip, it's pretty much a run killer, so it's kind of scary.
Yeah, I made backup saves just in case I get soft locked or something, but it should be fine. Okay, all these jumps are unintended, right? Like that log over there, you normally like throw a shoe in the trap, the log falls down, you jump onto the log, and yeah, jump onto the platform. But we skip all that stuff, of course. There's a bear trap here. Trigger that. Forest pretty scary. There's bear traps everywhere. And I happen to wear a bear hat, so be very careful.
It all makes sense why you use the bear hat now.
Yeah, glad someone found out.
And a skip coming up, probably the most major skip, I'd say. It's actually a lot easier to do with a DLC hat, the gnome hat, because it gives you better aerodynamics.
Yeah, that's true. The gnome hat's pretty good because it's like cone shaped.
Oh, is that a new strat? I haven't ran in a while.
Yeah, definitely.
So is the hat actually pay to win?
It sounds like a debate. Because I've never heard of this either. What the heck?
Okay, this part here is called Here's Mono, as we're gonna axe down the door.
This would traumatize me too. If somebody did this to me.
Yeah, this over here is 6. Yeah, she's very scared right now. When you start playing the game, you normally don't know unless you played the first one or you paid attention to, you know, what Little Nightmares 2 is about. But some people actually don't know who she is when they first meet her here. Alright, so this stuff is also pretty straightforward, just like jump up here, nice family meal.
Oh, is that actually faster?
I don't know, I've seen some runners do it. I'm not sure actually. Okay, now we gotta wait. Then she's gonna give us a boost.
Yeah, I think the cutest thing about this game is just holding hands with 6. It's so adorable.
Yeah, there's like an achievement for holding hands. It's pretty nice.
It actually
Is it
saves
like-
time too to hold hands in a few spots.
For the achievement, you have to hold her hand for 6 minutes.
6 minutes?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's throughout the course of the game, though. I think not just at once.
That's a lot of hand holding.
Imagine you had to hold it 6 minutes straight.
That's what I thought it was at first.
You're just stuck there, just holding your hand, doing nothing.
Also, I love how 6, like, if you make, like, trick jumps like that you're not supposed to make, technically, 6 just can jump as far as she needs to.
Yep.
It's almost like it's intended.
She does some really insane movements.
So here I'm gonna like try to let go of the handle before I drop down. So I can like put the handle in myself, which is slightly faster. If you drop with the handle, then mono is like staggered and 6 will do it for you. Which is pretty slow. Come here, key. So in Little Nightmares 1, you always like hold the key in your hands, but mono can actually put it in his jacket.
He has big pockets.
Yeah. Apparently.
This is the hardest skip in the game. This next upcoming skip.
Yeah, next is shoe skip.
Hey, you
Kenny,
don't like
do you
shoe
mean,
skip, Kenny?
Yeah, you
I
talking about shoe
can't-
skip, or do you mean the one after that? I'm just thinking about
No,
it.
this one. This is just. I can't like let go and then hit it. Like see like that. I can't do that.
I mean, if you
want
miss
to
it...
see
Wait, I want to try it. Hold on. Let's see.
You got
Oh no.
Also, you're saying this?
No. Hold on.
So, Dist, you're saying?
if you just drop it and then slide into it, it makes it a
That
lot
6
easier.
is
Doing it in like
blocking me.
one fluid motion.
Yeah,
quite
it's not gonna work. But
I
yeah,
love
Yeah,
the
I've
fact
learned
that-
to.
so here, like, you put the shoe against the box, and then you slide against the box, and the box will like go super go super fast, like towards the wall. It'll like glitch
Yeah,
towards the wall.
sometimes it can even glitch out and the box will go like flying up in the
Yeah,
air.
yeah, I've had that too. But yeah, it's
don't
pretty
wanna edit,
tedious.
though,
So.
The backup is just pushing the box.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just slow because you have to wait for 6 to come and push it with you. That's why.
Okay, I'm gonna do this
Yeah.
skip is the hardest skip in the game. Maybe you guys can explain it while I try to get this.
It's hard.
Well,
think
I suppose I could explain it since I'm the one who came up with this madness. Basically, she's going to go into a specific spot here and time. She's launching up into the air and hitting the roof in a way where she's going to be flying to the right, to the end of the level. And more or less, if she does this right, she's going to reload
That
checkpoint and
looks
she should
good,
end up
yeah.
on the beach.
That was
Oh,
first
I think she
try.
got it.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, I think she got it. I
Nice,
think she
first
got it.
try,
Yeah.
Let's go.
Really good.
Let's go.
Like,
Man, I'm so
Larkson made
relieved.
that look so easy. Jesus. For anyone who does not know, that is, like, you will launch everywhere. You will, like... It is so hard to get that trick done. That was first try.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes hours of practice.
Yeah, it's easier than it looks.
The scariest part about that skip is that if you did it wrong by like, I don't know, like pixels. You can spawn completely different. Like there's like four
go
or
ahead.
3 different locations that you can like do a checkpoint reload and spawn somewhere entirely different. So it is a run killer for sure if you don't have a backup save for it.
Yeah, there's just floating checkpoints in the water, and if you reload at the wrong time, like
Ooh.
Kenny said, you just end up in the wrong spot. Oh, did she get it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, she got it.
Also, I want to mention really quick, just as a favor for our tech. Richard, at some point during the run, I think Lark has to close the game. It's intended. The game will not be crashing. She's just closing it later on.
Yeah.
Another cool skip coming up here. It's called TB skip. Just let it speak for itself, I suppose.
Right, so you have to like push the TV, and the moment the TV is angled towards like falling down, you have to make your way to jump on the TV that's coming up. But you have to be really fast there. I usually die there a lot.
This is looking like a PB pace run at this point. This is really
Yeah,
good.
that's good.
I mean, shoe skip was kind of sketchy.
Yeah, that's true. You got hunter skip first try though. It's definitely possible.
Yeah, so these little animations that Mono is doing with the TV, you just can't skip them. You have to write them out. And so what she's basically doing here is she's pushing a direction to straighten out the TV so Mono can kind of like teleport inside the TV. But that's all RNG. Depending on which direction it chooses, it's all random.
Yeah.
So she has to kind of play around which direction and then find the one that's correct and then stick it.
And sometimes it won't work at all.
Yeah, I've had a run where it just like no matter what direction I chose, it just got stuck, and it didn't push me through. That was unfortunate.
Here we restart checkpoint because it's like slightly faster, and we skip the whole animation of like Six and Mono getting back up. Yeah, in this game, there's a lot of checkpoint abuse. Like, it's insane. How often we're gonna have to reload checkpoint?
I can't wait to get to the school. The school is probably my favorite sections to both play and watch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
school is.
so
Oof.
school is
I'm hoping that's gonna go well. I know all about that.
school is by
School's a
far the
doozy.
hardest part of the run. So
Yeah.
this is where you're gonna see most runners reset. It's just skip after skip after skip. But after the school, things die down a little bit.
Yeah,
It's a
for
bit more
sure.
tame.
Oh God, Lark's like first try on the Zoom.
Let's do it. Fun fact: if 6 is on top of the goalpost in the playground, she doesn't know how to get down. For some reason, the devs forgot to program it, so they did a patch where they taught 6 how to come down from the goalpost.
I didn't even know that.
It's in the patch notes. It's really funny.
Jeez. Yeah, there's also just nothing much happening here, just straightforward.
But we're coming up to easily the scariest creature.
You know, every skip in this
The
game is
entire
honestly the
game.
scariest.
I love the next one. Like of all like the monster designs across Little Nightmares, I think the upcoming one's my favorite.
Yeah, this is definitely something that I was not expecting.
Have you seen the designs for the one creature that was like scrapped for Little Nightmares 2?
No.
I
No.
don't think so.
Oh, it's really creepy looking. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was a hair cutter.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
I'm gonna look it up. I want to
scissors.
see this. Let me hold on. Let me check it
yeah,
out.
yeah. I think I heard about that. Oh, nice.
Yeah, the jump on the locker there is also not intended, but if you like time it, you can like jump on the locker as it falls down, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, a little minor time saved here and there.
Dist, you have somehow ruined my day. The barber was going to have a giant pair of scissors, and he
Yeah.
is so cool. Now I'm sad he's not in the game. Like, God, I love giant pairs of scissors, man.
It's kind of
That's
disturbing.
your
It was
thing.
the barber.
That's your thing.
Now I feel sad. I mean, I still like the teacher, but
So
The
this skip
barber.
here, there's like several ways to do this. I learned this like yesterday. Okay, so bear with me. Get it? Bear with. Okay, sorry. Thought that was kind of funny.
Oh, nice. Yeah, there is like, I don't know, there's so many different strats for that room.
Oh yeah, I've seen like
different
15
ways.
different videos.
Yeah, it's pretty insane, and they're all like very minor like differences in time. They're all
Yeah,
pretty
it's technical.
relatively the same. Yeah.
I love this next room. One of you guys want to break down this next room?
Yeah. So intentionally, you're not supposed to be able to destroy these kids like what Larxa just did right now. The game developers assumed that it was going to be a death scene. The moment you made a noise and the kids started running, there was no way you can get out of it. But we were able to kill the 3 children initially, and then the last one somehow gets stuck behind this bookshelf, and it actually breaks the teacher's AI, and it doesn't even chase you. It completely ignores you because of
He's
this.
just chilling.
Yeah, it just breaks the sequence all entirely.
Yeah, they didn't assume you could ever get out of the room, so they never bothered making the teacher work. They did actually patch this glitch. I don't know if it's still possible on the current patch, but
You
I
can
don't
break
believe
the
it's
AI, but you can't do the skip.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I loaded it once, and the teacher just like paused, and I just ran through the room casually.
And
And that was on
Yeah,
current.
so we are running in a down patch version because the developers did patch the game, and
Yeah.
they did skip, fix a bunch of skips that we use in the run, which is very sad. But
I mean, they,
Yeah,
they
they're
left
gonna
the
do
best
that.
skip in the
So-
game. They left the hunter skip. Feels okay, man.
that's true.
It's weird that they let that in.
I think they couldn't fix it. That's probably why.
Yeah, I asked the dev about it, and he said he had an idea how to fix it, but he wasn't 100% sure.
So I'm never sure. How do you do this room quickly?
You have to get a really good jump across the middle where you don't climb. If you climb at all, then she'll notice you.
Yeah.
That
There's
makes a
a-
lot
You
of
just have to be
sense.
fast enough.
There's an alternate way where when you fall, you can break the bottles, and for whatever reason, she doesn't aggro.
Yeah, you break the bottles in a way where they don't fall down beneath her, where she's standing. So yeah, she never notices you, but that's a little slower, and I can never really get it consistent either.
No.
I think it's a myth.
Wait. I wanna try that skip for the chat.
Yeah, give it a retry.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a really cool skip.
I really like the skip.
Yeah, normally you have to go down and move the ladder to the side, but with some precise platforming, you can actually just walk along the top of the bookshelves, and just skip the ladder completely. It saves like 10 seconds or so.
Nice.
I also want to mention, I'm pretty sure a large amount of your estimate was dedicated to Hunter Skip, and you got that first try.
Yeah.
So you have a large estimate to work with, yeah.
Oh, oops.
That's all right.
Should be okay.
Yeah, it should be.
I landed a bit too high up there, but it's fine. Okay, this is also a new strat that I learned recently, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, it's actually faster to reload here because otherwise you have to wait for her to just sit around for like 10 seconds before she walks out.
Might be a bit
And if
too
you're
slow.
wondering if you can open the door before she goes in, there's actually a giant invis wall. So there's no way to do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of invisible walls in this game, which I think the devs just knew we were gonna break the game. So they implemented those walls.
That's a super jump right there.
Yeah.
So this game has a lot of super jumps. I'm not sure what causes them, but there's like some spots on like the floor and objects where if you jump off it into a certain angle at a sprinting speed, you jump like 2-3 times as far as usual. It's crazy. There's like a lot of those.
I think it happens because Mono has really strong legs.
I really don't understand the super jumps though. I thought they were initially in the game to assist Six with like her jumps so she doesn't fall to her death, but there's certain spots you could do it where Six isn't even around, so
I think
Yeah,
it's
I think it's
more
like a.
on
I
the-
think it feels like a leftover from Little Nightmares 1 because in Little Nightmares 1, like Six has these like she gets like gravitated towards certain objects, and so it feels like in this one, like for example, this one right here, like when Mono tries to like jump towards the projector screen, like it just gives you a super jump as well.
the reason
yeah,
I would
don't
probably
remember that.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the reason I probably think it is a thing is just because as a game, I know especially the ones that happen later with the beds and the one that happens whenever you leap towards Six, it wouldn't be very rewarding if you miss those. And story-wise, you're kind of just moving with Six anyway, so they probably just assume, hey, you can make these jumps.
Yeah, that
maybe.
definitely makes sense for sure.
But the one that Larksa just did with the bookshelf, I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, that one was pretty random.
Also, I guess this is just a side question because how was the hunter skip found?
Well, in the demo, it was used mainly. So the demo, you pretty much just ran to this like hole, and then the game ended. So it was initially used in the demo, and then it kind of evolved over time. Actually, let's focus on this because there's a really tough part coming up here.
We can talk more about the hunter skip later. I know you're.
Yeah, so this is like the
very
second
scary.
hardest skip in the game. I'm gonna try my best to get it because I think it'd be really cool to show off, but yeah, it's really tough. I practice this for hours and oof.
Yeah, well, we'll give Larksa
Quiet time.
So the first part to the skip is you need to launch off the bully's head. After that, you need to run through the cafeteria, not get caught, not get stuck, and then you have to run through a devilish hallway, even 10 times worse.
Yeah. For people who don't know how this section works, normally there's a ladle that you pick up, and you can kill the 4 enemies here, and you gotta walk through really slowly, but this saves around 35 seconds, so hopefully she can get it here.
Oh no, I'm gonna get stuck up there. Oh, no, I'm fine.
Children are very.
Nice.
It's really easy to get
See?
stuck there.
All right. Second part. You got this.
All right. Looks
Nice,
like
let's
Great
go.
job.
We did it. Yeah,
The
that
meanest-
skip is not easy. It's these children's are these children are just the worst. Like they can get you stuck. They can somehow teleport you. It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, when I first started doing the skip and runs, my heart rate always went so high.
Yeah.
It's just it's so scary.
Well,
The
stealing
worst
from
part
here.
has to be. Oh, good.
Oh right, I wanna explain the skip. So this
Go for
jar
it.
here, it cannot trigger the button. We actually have to break this jar and pick up an invisible jar. But it's very tedious. Like there you go. Okay, look, I have a jar.
Invisible chair.
All right,
He's a mime.
there you go.
I don't even know how people found this skip.
It makes
this
no
doesn't make
sense.
sense to me. It makes no sense.
Yeah, with that.
So-
I was gonna say with the cafeteria room really quick. The worst part about that room is one failure puts you back at the beginning. There's no checkpoint in the middle of all that.
Yeah. So this room, the teacher kind of has to go to like 2 or 3 different checkpoints here. Like, so she has to like visit these little parts of the table. But you can actually aggro her pretty early, and she kind of gets stuck behind the door. And if you do it twice, then she kind of skips the first 2 animations and just goes straight to the door. Nice. All right, time to get some revenge.
And now is hammer time. This next part.
This part's not too bad. Hopefully she'll get it first try. The combat in this game is a little janky,
Yeah,
but with
yeah.
a bit of practice,
So,
you can get it.
This girl right here, the student, I get killed by her like way too. Oh, thank goodness. Way too often.
Yeah, there's a really good chance that you can just bonk on the locker instead of actually like smashing her. And if you bonk the locker, it's pretty much over. Nice job.
That one is always very.
And one question is, why do all these children have bowl cuts?
It's just it's time.
Yeah, bowl cuts are in a lot of games.
They look like Mandark.
I'm assuming it's because it's supposed to be neat. Like this whole school is like strict, and so they all have to have like a very strict, you know, look to it.
Also, wait, which other games have bowl cuts?
Witcher 3,
Really?
Dark Souls, Demons, all the Souls games.
All the Souls games.
Also, I want to point out these urinals are way too high for these kids.
Yeah. I mean,
I
the weird thing is
never
the
noticed that
sink.
actually.
Like, look at the sink. The sink is like at the normal human height, and then the urinals are like really low. It makes no sense. Very strange.
I'm assuming these children can't use them because they're made out of clay.
They do a handstand.
Oh god.
Yeah, no time.
Nice.
Okay, so now I need to jump together with sticks to make the piano fall down. Come here. Come on. He doesn't want. Wow, perfectly synchronized. Okay, more checkpoint abuse. There you go. You want to reset this bully's AI, the bully behind the wall here, because she is always triggered by the piano falling. But if you reset checkpoint, she is like idle again. So
Yeah, I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do here actually, because yeah, if you don't reload checkpoint, she'll just kill you when you drop into the area. Maybe you're supposed to wait casually.
there you go. You know,
Nice.
pick up the key.
Another pretty cool strat coming up here. If she does this correctly, she can use the bully's head to boost up onto this cabinet. Normally you have to wait for 6 or yourself to kill this bully. We'll see how it goes.
I think I jumped a bit too late there.
The checkpoint's super close, so retrying here is pretty quick at least.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
So I always stand on this book here because otherwise she gets stuck sometimes, and it's really annoying.
Yeah, you can soft lock there if you're really unlucky. She'll just get stuck. She'll keep trying to jump and miss, and she gives up.
Yeah, this is the part where I think
She's
it's
like-
easier with a different hat. I'm not even joking. But the way the skip works is you have to jump the moment Mono looks to the right. And I think it's easy when he's wearing like the... Oh no, my character's like stuck. When he's wearing like the bear hat.
You just smashed her.
Oh no. Please.
Yeah, 6 died.
We get stuck in the box.
6 just got smushed. Oh god.
She'll be alright.
I didn't know that happened.
Oh, that can definitely.
Yeah, this is really
It's so
annoying. My
scary.
character is like glitching out. But it's gonna stop later, so...
I've never seen this glitch.
Yeah,
I think you need to press S.
Oh.
Or just press WASD.
Here I always
Yeah,
reload
the game has
checkpoints.
issues. Go ahead.
Like the piano cycle, it's like a certain length that she plays piano. So you can only move when she's like playing piano, right? So you want to do this really fast before she stops playing, basically. But
And this is my favorite scene that's coming up.
Yeah. this-
Everyone's.
I think is
We don't
Chat
spoil
will
it
get
just
a-
yet, but
chat will get a thrill from this.
Nice.
also I saw as well people were asking, is this live? The run is live. This is all happening live. However, chat is pre-recorded.
Ah. Oh no! Run, 6, run!
Oh boy.
And also, what's really funny, I think it was Nico. He was playing around with the no clip. When she is putting her head through, she's actually just T-posing outside of the vent.
It's fitting.
Yeah, there's a few funny glitches you can do.
Bye! Well, we're past the hardest part of the run, I'd say. I mean, there's still like some tough skips coming up, but school is definitely like nerve-wracking. Oh god.
Yeah, the one thing that I'm a little bit disappointed, which is also kind of a spoiler, is that she's the only one that kind of gets to survive. Future.
I'm gonna try a new
Which
strat here. If 6 is stuck, so there's an invis wall here and here. If she's stuck, she's gonna speed up and catch up to me if I did it correctly. Yeah, I did it correctly. There you go.
Oh yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, normally you have to reload here because 6 just decides to take her sweet time crossing the bridge. But yeah, if you get that, she just flies across it, as you can see.
She just trying her best.
It's okay, she's cute. It's fine.
But she's also
I
cold.
love 6. Yeah. I think everyone doesn't realize, like, I think you wouldn't realize that that's 6 until, soon right after here. Because in the first game, you only recognize her because of one object. It's because of what she's wearing. But in this one, you didn't really know that until right about now.
And there's
So
another
this is
skip here
a-
too.
Yeah, there's another super launch here, super jump. There you go.
Woo!
Oh, nice. This run's been
Yeah,
really
whenever
good
you-
so far, honestly.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's gonna PB.
Yeah, whenever you see like these lines, like these areas that have white chalk on it, it's supposed to indicate that you're supposed to use 6 to boost on them. But a lot of them have like these super jumps, so you can just super jump it.
You say white chalk?
Yeah, there's like a white chalk on the
Yeah,
areas.
like on the container
must have-
there.
Oh yeah,
Like-
yeah.
like the door handles and that little trash can right there.
I never even noticed. I thought that was just like lighting or something. I don't know.
Right, next up is the hospital. Where the main
Yeah, so
enemy...
hospital starts off a bit slow, but it
Yeah.
definitely picks up in the speed run after a little bit. After she quits out, which will be in like a minute or two.
Like being Pepe. There you go.
Just missing the window
Yeah.
by an inch.
Whenever you're touching the wall with Mono just refuses to
Yeah,
climb
that's the weird
anything.
thing. Like, if you're too close to a wall and you jump, Mono decides to face the other way. And it's very frustrating because in Little Nightmares 1, she doesn't do, like, 6 doesn't do that. But Mono, like, loves doing that. Horrible.
Yeah, there's a few spots where it's actually very dangerous if you jump at the wrong spot. Just because of that, it'll just turn you and then all of a sudden you're dead because you can't grab something.
There's a lot of super jumps here. I'm gonna try and get them. There's one here. And there's one right here. And there's one at the edge of the bed. And then one right here. And then the pillow. There you go.
Nice. Yeah, you'll know if you get it if you kind of beat 6 from getting up here, because normally you can't beat 6. She always makes it up here first.
In my first playthrough, the first jump on the rope, 6 actually just fell straight down. She
Same,
didn't
yeah.
grab it.
Same. She just like missed the rope. So strange.
Yeah, there's a few spots where you can do that. We might see it towards the end.
So who wants the pleasure of explaining
Ooh, the fuse
the
dude.
next major skip?
I could.
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, she's basically just gonna be running here for a little bit, but coming up, she's gonna be entering the main section of the hospital, where there's these 2 fuses that you need to put in to activate an elevator, and she's gonna basically be quitting out because we don't really know how it works, but if you reset the game from a fresh state, you can glitch one of the fuses into spawning into the main hub, which will allow us to like save. I don't even know. It's like 5 to 10 minutes. It's massive.
Yeah, it's a big time
But,
save.
yeah, hopefully it'll work. I believe it's pretty much like 100% consistent. Sometimes I've seen it not work for some people, but should be okay.
I do have a backup
Worst case
save just in
scenario.
case.
Yeah.
It's 100% -1.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason why we were able to find this or even figure this out is because during some people's playthrough, it happened by chance. Like for some reason during their first playthrough, like this fuse came out of nowhere and it was just destroying our minds. Like we were trying to replicate it and just didn't understand how it works.
Yeah,
And
it took us
finally
about a
someone
week to
did it.
figure it out.
But it does save a lot. Like it saves a huge. Another reason why it saves is because normally, like you skip the left side of the hospital and you also skip the right side because there are only a few objects in this particular area that can break glass.
All right, do not be alarmed.
And,
This is a strat. I need to exit to
yeah.
desktop.
I can't
It runs
believe
over.
the
I know,
game
the run is
crashed.
dead, no.
It crashed. It
Oh.
Can't
crashed.
believe it. Also, reset the Discord stream
Yeah, you might have to
Oh yeah,
reset
yeah, yeah,
that.
no
because
problem.
we're not gonna be able to watch you otherwise.
Let's. All right, to work.
I love this strategy. Just turn off the whole game. Also, since it's
There is a-
normally
oh, go
in-game
ahead.
time based, you don't really run into issues of losing time at all during this. So if you
There
want
is a
to
way
use
to do
load
this
remover,
without.
so.
Yeah, there is a way to do this without having to quit the game, but that means that you would have to clean out the entire game file. And,
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. There is a way to do it if you clear out the entire game file.
What, like the
But-
save data?
Yeah, everything.
Oh,
Like
okay.
starting a game from fresh, basically.
Yeah, I guess that's a bit of a pain.
You know what I love here? That Styx decides to grab like like one of those stories. I think
Yeah.
it's really funny.
She wants to help.
He just wants to fit in.
Yeah.
Like when she grabs the donkey.
She always grabs the duck. For me, at least.
I wonder if you can like manipulate it. Random.
I think there is a way to manipulate it, but I didn't care enough to.
Yeah, it doesn't
Find
matter
out.
anyways. It doesn't save time. It's just I like the donkeys. It's squealing.
I think you're holding the monkey now.
But yeah, the intended strat is to like look through the X-ray to figure out which item has the key, and it's really cute because Six does like these poses and like she kind of like does really cute things. It's really funny.
Yeah, that part is.
Thank
I love
God
that
the
part.
devs did not randomize the keys, because oh boy.
Yeah, it would have been horrible. ERNG.
It's like you have to go back and forth just to look for it.
Well, the best strategy just becomes
Guessed.
well, just take every stuffed animal, put it in the elevator, and there you go.
And now the fuse dupe is
So-
coming up.
Yeah, so she's gonna go to the main menu after this sequence here.
Yeah, so she's running to the left here, which actually loads in the electric room, which is where this fuse is located. And for some reason, running over there and then running back to hit the checkpoint just causes the game to think that you've already completed the left section.
Thank God.
And yeah, The fuse should just be right there.
Yep, it's right here. Yes.
Yeah,
It's
it
an
makes
incredible skip.
no sense at all, but it's great.
What is?
Yeah, it's
Nick's
really
doing?
crazy how impactful it is because now that she has this fuse, she can do this section in an unintended way as well by breaking this glass. Normally, you would have to break it from the other side,
I'm gonna throw
but
this
she
one
can just
away.
go straight through.
There you go.
Yeah, so one scary part, the reason why she threw that fuse away is because if she was to accidentally bring the one that she threw away back to the load room and to the main hub, this whole thing doesn't work. She would have to, there's two chances. One, both fuses are gone, which has happened to me once.
Oh goodness, really?
And second is that she just has to do this sequence again. So it's safer to just throw this fuse away so you know you're picking up the right one.
Usually I just wing it, but now for the marathon run, I decide to play it safe.
Yeah,
You have
there's
plenty
a
of
good setup
time.
for it. But
Yeah, I haven't really practiced that part. I just like do whatever. And again, I get lucky. Or unlucky.
Yeah.
Two, magic.
I did whatever on that part for a while until I got so confused and then I grabbed the wrong fuse and
Oh, no.
lost my round.
I started to like realize once like when I brought the wrong one. It's
What am I
like,
doing?
heck?
I can just
There's
pull it. I
also
was
a
like,
chance that
why
the
is 6
checkpoint
not
just
boosting me?
doesn't
Oh wait, I can just pull that lever. What's wrong with me?
It doesn't have the white chalk, remember. But yeah, there is a chance that the checkpoint won't load, so you have to do it. You have to like go back and grab the fuse. I think it happened to me during the race actually last Saturday.
Yeah, I had it happen 2 runs in a row before. It does seem pretty rare though, at least. So, pretty fun section coming up here. Well, a lot of runners dislike this part. It's kind of cool because there's like some optimizations you can make. It's another combat section.
Yeah, this section is can be very frustrating because of
Yeah,
the
so-
auto aim.
If she does this right, she can get a double hit on the first hand that jumps out, which actually saves quite a bit of time. But let's see if she can do it.
Okay, so first, I'm gonna grab the plank. For this break, then I'm gonna grab pipe, wait for the hands, hand appears. Nope, auto aim to the plank. So you see, I aimed up there to the hands, but Monos will sometimes like auto target the planks for no reason at all. Kind of strange. But I did get that hand. That's pretty nice. That's good. But it's still fine.
Yeah, what's scary about this fight is that if you like, you know, you get grabbed, you have to do this whole sequence again, and it's a very long time loss. It's a really,
You
really
flew.
bad one.
Yeah, that was not bad. But...
So now that you kill all the hands, are you going to give 6 a hand?
Oh, please.
Uh,
So everyone's favorite butt.
Yeah.
This is the doctor. And this is actually Larksa's strat. She's the one that found this out. And thank goodness, because it's such a good one.
Yeah, it's the best strat in the game.
So what she's gonna do is she's gonna jump into this hole.
Oh,
Oh, that might not.
It's
Oh, that worked.
Still
That
okay.
worked. Yeah, so if she jumps and triggers his reaction and immediately goes into the hole, for some reason it breaks the doctor's AI and it kind of like puts him in a stuck position. And so she can freely go through this room, activate this button, and just immediately run away without even having to deal with him at all, which is a big, big save.
He doesn't actually get stuck. He just decides to look around the
Yeah,
room
and
for like
scratch
20
his head.
seconds, and then he comes.
look at
And
him.
then he comes inside. Luckily, that's
Yeah.
enough time to get the block.
All right. Restart checkpoints.
Yeah, it's great.
We want to restart checkpoint here because otherwise 6 like never shows up and you're like stuck. Nice, I got it.
So this is a pretty,
Nice.
yeah, that's good. That's a pretty interesting fall. So I think intended, like you're supposed to die from that fall, even if
Yeah,
you
for
grab
sure.
it.
Yeah, they
If they
they
fixed
patched
it, you
this.
die there.
Yeah, they fixed it. Yeah. But for some reason, we're able to just like land safely. And normally, you're not supposed to be in this room this early on, so that's why the doctor didn't even care that you're in here or like even touching him. So he just kind of like goes away.
Okay, so I called for 6 there. Yeah, I'm a bit slow here, so she's gonna sadly pull away
might
by the
be
time
okay.
I arrive. I'm pretty sure.
It's a good window. I think you'll still make it.
If you make the jump straight onto it, you might get it.
Barely.
That was like
Barely.
half a
Yeah.
thing.
So that's like a race against the time. You want to be really fast, so you know the moment she pulls back this tray here, that you're like inside the tray. But
Yeah, you can make the cycle. It's just if you miss any jumps, you're
Yeah.
probably gonna miss it.
thank 6. You have another fun doctor part coming up.
We call it what? Butt skip version, whatever now.
Like 35.
Yeah, there's a lot of variants to this skip.
Yeah, it's called butt skip because you can look at the doctor's butt and he like moves his butt in a way that will signify you can move safely.
I didn't understand why we called it butt skip for the longest time until like I think Zyra messaged the emotes and I was like, that's what it is.
Yeah, I made an emote of the doctor's butt.
That's a good emote.
It's very good.
I still do like
Yeah,
an
so
older
with
version
specific
here, but
movement-
I think it's still fine.
Yeah, the doctor's confused now, and he's looking under the table, which will give her just enough time to go up here and get the fuse. And then after she gets the fuse, she's gonna wait for the butt.
I'm waiting for the button.
So pay attention to the butt, chat.
Yeah, for whatever reason, he just doesn't know that you're there. It's weird.
Okay, now I can run.
Nice. You're fine. I think you're good.
Okay, restart checkpoints. Oof, so many checkpoints.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good.
that skip
That's a good
used to
skip.
be a lot harder.
Yeah. We've come a long way.
Yeah, I think.
with that. Skip.
Yeah, that was probably the hardest skip for me. Like I could never get it right until we found the safety strat.
So here, if you're like in front of 6, she can boost you, but yeah, I failed.
Are you gonna turn on the thing or no?
Why am I gonna burn the doctor?
Yeah.
Of course.
You can do it without losing any time, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Actually, I think it's actually faster to turn it on even before you start moving to the elevator. Because there's a window. Yeah, because when you're waiting for 6 to stop, like looking at the furnace, it's instant when you pull the lever.
Oh, actually, I think I remember seeing that you can reload here right when you go through the vent.
Oh, that's interesting.
I saw some dude post that a while ago. I don't know if anybody's using it, but I think it saves like 5 seconds.
Oh, also, it's faster if you pull back. If you pull it instead of pushing it. And I also learned that too, because he doesn't have that fall.
faster to pull?
Yeah, it's faster to pull the vent instead of pushing it.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Because people told me it was the opposite.
Yeah, because he has this weird animation, and you can immediately walk through the thing and immediately pull the lever. At least that's I felt like, because I was confused too when I revisited this game for the race. I was like, do I push or pull here? And then I decided to pull, and it felt way faster.
Fast drinking break. Uh-oh, losing time. Let's go. was thirsty.
Should have grabbed Six's hand.
Yeah.
It saves 2 seconds here to grab Six's
Yeah,
hand.
that's
I don't know if you
correct.
guys knew that.
2 seconds and pure cuteness.
Yes.
Yeah, because she gets like stuck behind that door. It's really silly. Six, where are you? Oh, there you are. Why are Mono's hands all the way up the window?
He doesn't understand until he sees Six do it. He's like, I'm too dumb for this.
Yeah, that's why the thing happens at the end.
Well, now my favorite chapter is coming up. The TV world is my favorite for the entire run. I love the skips in the TV world. Because they remind me a lot of like Little Nightmares 1, like, I know, like difficulty-wise and tech-wise. So, it's like very focused on platforming, the TV world.
Yeah, I don't think we mentioned this, but this game consists of 5 levels. And now we are in the 4th level, which is Bell City.
Who's me?
And you'll notice these creepy people.
Sir?
Did these people have a name? I can't remember.
That
I think
guy
they're
was
called
called
Paleface.
George.
No?
Restart checkpoint
We're gonna
here.
name every single human like we're doing with the gnomes now.
Yeah. That's Jorge.
Trisha?
Alright. Who's me? Who's me? Thank you. And now we're coming up at the elevator part.
Alright, hold in one. Yes?
Yeah, I've had that sometimes.
Go.
I'll try. So I'm gonna try and
I
jump
hope one day
into the
this
gap.
part is figured out.
Did anybody figure this part out when we were like discussing it last time?
No. It's just too...
Oh,
Let's
no.
go.
You guys have one.
Insane.
That's probably one of the most satisfying
Yeah,
things to do in the run.
definitely.
Just the hole in one is great.
Okay, now I need to rescue Six. Grab the key here.
I was so stuck on this level during my first playthrough. I just did not understand what to do here. I thought she was broken for me. Like, she wasn't moving.
She can break.
But like, it was weird because I thought like I was supposed to hold her hand, and every time I tried to go on the right side over there, she like just stopped holding my hand, and I was like, what's going on? She doesn't like me anymore. What did I do?
Yeah, I had a run where she, right as I unlocked the door, she fell through the elevator and just was gone forever.
Yeah, I got soft blocked 2 times in a row there. She just wouldn't move. She just stood in place.
Yeah. Another skip coming up here, the hangar skip. This is actually a really cool one. 2 little platforming jumps back to back.
Yeah, I do like the baby version of this. Do not judge me. Okay,
Ooh.
that's the marathon safe version. So basically, you skip the part where like Six helps you up, and then you know you like use the handle there for the clothes hanger to bring her to the other side. You just jump to the other side and you like trigger the checkpoints. Yeah, and then you just reload checkpoint and you're on the other side. So, pretty cool skip.
Yep. Normally you have to have Six go to the other side, and then you do like a glory jump. She saves you.
I always have difficulty jumping through the window here because like Mono tends to face the other way sometimes. Oh, there you go. Like as you're like too close to the wall, and he's like, he just decides not to look at the gap. Here we have another checkpoint abused. So 6 is now with us. Otherwise, we have to wait for her. Nice run for a little. Oh, freaking
No, 6, no.
Oh, we're going for
was
bad ending, so
devastated.
I'm just gonna leave her there.
I think
She's
I think
fine.
you mean
Yeah,
good
she's fine.
ending.
Yeah, this
How
part
dare you.
always makes me sad, even though
How dare you?
You
Use
can
a
skip
super
the
jump?
checkpoint reload to show them what happens.
Well, like here?
You just watch the whole
when
thing
you
essentially,
open the
yeah.
door. Yeah, if you don't
Yeah,
reload,
good
then
idea.
So for context, normally what's supposed to happen is 6 is supposed to be with you here, and then you lose 6 subsequently. But we don't have 6 because Larxa did a glitch to not save her, so 6 is still in the wall. So what happens next is gonna be kind of I think it's funny. And probably good.
I'm hurt by these comments.
They're
what did
accurate.
6 do to you?
I mean,
love
she ate the
6.
gnome. She's bad. She's not good people.
She hugged the gnome.
Yeah, it was just a hug.
With her teeth.
So
Ooh, creepy. Who's that? The Thin Man.
this is how I view every person that's taller than me.
Scary.
Hello, thin man.
Yeah, normally 6 is here with us, so this is like very unusual.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen this actually.
Run, 6, run! Where is she?
I wonder if you run back to the rubble if she's still there.
She'll follow you.
wait, can you save her
Yeah.
while the Thin Man?
Yeah, watch. Larxa, you have plenty of time in the estimate. I get that time if needed. After this is done, go get 6.
Alright.
Because normally right now 6
Yeah.
is supposed to get kidnapped. You can see, oh, 6 is gone. She will disappear
Terrible hiding
after the
spot.
thing happens, though. But like through this area, you can drag her all around.
Really? I can go grab 6?
Yeah, go get her.
Is she still there?
Oh yeah.
Her model's still there. Yeah.
Alright, let's see. Wait, is it here? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Hey!
Yay, 6.
What happens if you save her?
Oh,
This is a good ending
you can
shot.
walk around with her.
Pull her right through the head. Oh, there you go. Okay, I was
That's the
confused.
weirdest thing ever. But yeah, she's supposed to be yeah, like dead actually, or non-existent.
Well, we saved
let's
6.
say.
We can call time.
Yeah. Oh.
Not
Good ending,
actually,
good
but
ending. I like it.
Well, yeah, this is the 3rd ending. The 6th
Imagine
imposter
that actually
ending.
becomes a category.
I would make that into a category, and I'll be so happy.
Or there's a good run ending, like the Last of Us 2. You just throw 6 off the edge.
I was actually curious where the earliest you could make 6 fall off the ledges, but it's really hard to do it in certain places.
Didn't you technically just hold her hand until you walk off the cliff?
No, because she'll let go. But there's
Aw.
certain places you can make her fall off by like dragging her really fast, and she'll like fly off the ledge.
Jeez. Sounds good.
Brutal.
Right.
Yeah, so this next area is just a bunch of puzzles that she has to like figure out and get through them.
Bunch of teleportation. Yeah, Mono has these weird TV powers. You can like teleport through the TVs and stuff. I don't know why, I'm always like scared here. I feel like it's easy to fall off, yet I never fall off.
Yeah, I've never fallen there, but I'm always scared.
Right?
I think we're conditioned because the Little Nightmares won.
I think I've fallen there 2 times.
So I got a remote now, and this is like kind of like a puzzle in your first playthrough. You have to like turn on TVs, turn off TVs until, you know, you find your way through, basically. Here we're gonna pull this trolley, and then we're gonna turn on the TV over there. Gonna pull this like halfway-ish. Right, go back through the TV. You know, I sometimes miss that jump, and it's like horrible.
Oh yeah, it's so
Yeah.
bad. So then you got to go all the way through the tunnel and back up.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness,
God.
no!
I was always afraid that one plank that sticks out there, you can't grab it because the devs didn't want you to skip that part. So they specifically made it so you couldn't grab that plank.
Oh. I've literally...
So that just
oh,
screwed
wait,
you
I can,
over
I can say
because
the
of
thing
that.
again. I've never seen that happen before.
Yeah. I was wondering if that would ever happen.
I've never seen that happen.
Jinxed.
Gotta have one of those moments. Otherwise it's a fake run. Okay, there's another tedious skip coming up.
Yep, balcony skip.
Yeah. So normally you like lure her away from the TV, and then you turn on this TV, and then you go back to the TV she was at, and yeah, so you just teleport. Nice, first try.
First
Oh,
try,
nice.
let's go.
Nice.
Yeah, we just skipped that.
It's a pretty difficult skip.
Alright, so we turn on this TV, turn off that TV, run past them carefully, turn on this TV, hello? Sometimes, okay, because
Yeah.
I once turned this TV on and the other TV was turned off. It was the weirdest thing ever. Like, I somehow did that. Oh no!
Yeah, the remote is very finicky. You can only press the button like once every few seconds to turn it on or off. So if you're not aiming at the TV when you press it, it can get kind of confusing.
Yeah, and when you're running and you press the button to turn on the TV, somehow it doesn't register. So you see Mono pushing the button, but it doesn't actually do anything. It's really weird.
Are you gonna go for the skip here?
No, I'm afraid not. But maybe
Have
someone
you-
can
have you
explain the
tried it?
skip. There's like an incredible skip here, but I cannot do it. It's like the hardest thing ever.
Yeah, it's so basically the normal way is to turn on both the TVs. You push the one on the ledge here down, and then you go through the other one. But you can land on like the window sill that's down below, and then you can do a specific jump to get into where she's getting launched right now. Saves like 15 seconds, but it's very punishing to mess up. Very precise as well.
Yeah, it's a really cool skip, but I practiced it. Really stressful.
Yeah, it's really precise because you can bonk off of the window top, and it just pushes you all the way down.
Yeah, you can even land on the ledge and then just fall afterwards. Yeah, it's a pain, giant pain.
So now there's a new-ish skip coming up. This is found not too long ago. You can just clip
Yeah,
through
this
the
skip's
elevator.
This is like one of the probably my like least favorite parts of the run because you're just riding an elevator up and down. So at least there's a skip now.
Oh, I don't know about this one.
Oh, you don't?
Unless I do? I don't
No,
I don't
you
think I
must
do.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, this
Here
skip's
we
so
go, Kenny.
cool.
Okay, stand against. Oh. Okay. Hold grab. Wait for the elevator to disappear. Jump. There you go.
Nice.
What?
Kenny's like, what? What is this devil magic?
What?
It just goes to the
But
bars.
I thought there was an invisible wall. Does it
Yeah,
not
you're
matter?
like grabbing the ground and like clipping through somehow.
What? All right, now I got to do another run of this. I'm
Yeah,
so
so many new strats for there's new strats for Little Nightmares 1 as well. It's awesome.
This room was a nightmare before we found this particular skip that Lexa just performed.
Yeah, there used to be the hardest skip in the game right there. You had to jump off the chair to get to the doorknob, but now you can just do like a stand against the wall and jump.
I hated chair jumps so much.
It was insanely difficult.
Oh.
Like for some reason, like Mono just doesn't want to touch the doorknob ever, so it was really finicky.
I probably got it 3 times out of like 200 attempts.
Oh, nice.
Good job.
And that's a huge skip. It saves actually like a minute maybe.
Yeah,
It's
I think
very precise
closer to like a minute
platforming,
and
but
15.
very doable. I used to die there so much. Okay, turn this TV off. Turn on this TV. Don't get eaten by them. Okay, turn this TV off. There you go. Always have to be careful there. Okay, now we just make our way through this without them chasing us, or with them chasing us rather.
That's something I didn't know either. I'm learning so much right now.
Yeah, there's actually a super jump you can do at the first table, so you have like a quick climb. But I always forget where that jump is exactly. Okay, now we are gonna see the Thin Man again.
Yeah, and this coming up here is one of those spots where you can die very easily because the wall is it's just if you jump against the wall, it's a mess. But luckily you don't even have to jump, so she'll be fine.
Yeah, we figured it out. How to do this properly.
Yeah, his aggro range is pretty far, so if you're slow by like, I don't know, like a couple seconds, he can catch up to you and grab you.
Did you ever die here, Kenny, trying to jump against this?
Yeah, I have once, I think. It's actually kind of brutal.
Yeah, you can just walk out to it and grab it, so it's no problem. But I lost a few runs there before I realized.
We need to figure out a way to like zoom past this part here. We don't have to wait for him here.
You can walk diagonally in this part, and it saves like a second or two.
Yeah, I was trying
Not
it, I
really
nearly
sure
fell
how it
off.
works though. I don't
No,
know
no,
if you actually
you can't.
fall.
I don't think you can't. I don't think you can. I think it's scripted where you are stuck on this thing. So even if you like move your analog stick up, it doesn't matter.
Alright, there's another small skip coming up, which makes me very nervous because you're getting like chased, but the skip itself is very simple. Yeah, it's just like the nerves, you know? So we're gonna try. Okay, I'm gonna stand in the corner here, turn around. Yes. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Faster,
You're
Lana,
fine.
faster.
Yeah.
No! Faster! No!
Oh my god.
Yes! Yes, I made it!
Nice, you got it,
That
you
was
got
a
it.
roller coaster of emotions. Goodness.
Yeah, it's really weird that that platform is like slightly higher where you can actually reach it. It's really weird.
And there's another skip
gonna go for
here
train skip?
where there's gonna be like a slow-mo effect and you can like skip that. But it's also very precise and I haven't practiced it, so I'm just gonna do it normally. So you see how you're like slowed
really
down?
fun fact.
Yeah, like you're slowed down here. If you skip that, you just run normally through here.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
skip the slowdown trigger, basically. The funny thing is, though, it saves 20 seconds real time, but the game time actually slows down with the slow-mo, so it saves nothing
Yeah.
to do this skip.
Yeah.
If you're
It just
going
makes
for,
it
like, a
faster.
leaderboard time.
But honestly, the slow motion feature is so annoying going through the train because like, if you're not paying attention, you can easily jump onto one of these chairs and you just
Yeah,
you're
I've
just
died
stuck.
here so often, it's crazy.
Yeah, if you do the skip, Thin Man actually ends up being further behind, so if you mess up, you're not gonna die. So that is one benefit, I suppose.
Bye, man. Another checkpoint. There you go. Alright, we're at the final stretch of the game.
we're about to have an epic Matrix moment soon.
That's a Styx's shadow right there. He's with us in spirit. So we're basically gonna climb up the ladder, insanely long ladder. And reload checkpoints at the very top of it, and then we have like a fight with Thin Man, which is kind of similar to the Little Nightmares 1 geisha fight. It's pretty similar. Like you need to like aim your hand towards his hand, so kind of like the mirror and the mask fight. Like a similar like checkpoint here. This is definitely the slowest part of the run. This is like where I kind of start to fall asleep.
Oh, for right now, while you're just killing the Thin Man here, do you have any shout-outs you want to give? I feel like right now is probably a good time for that.
Shoutouts?
Yeah.
I have so many.
Well, you have time.
Nah, I'm kidding. I mean, I don't know. I just want to like shout out GDQ and like, I'm very thankful or like grateful for this opportunity. This is like my very first run at an event, so I was pretty nervous. I mean, I'm still very nervous.
You've been doing great.
Then shout out to like, you know, my commentators. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you. And of course, you can't forget the chat. Everyone that's watching, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Oh, I forgot some people. The Little Nightmares community, they're awesome, dude. Yeah, they're great. I've learned a lot, and the community is so welcoming, so if anyone wants to run Little Nightmares 1 or 2, I highly suggest joining the Discord. Like, people will help you gladly. Yeah.
All right.
Very good. Thin Man is down. And our hat is gone. That's like the worst part. No more hats from here on out.
The music here is so epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
this part's really cool. Now, you may think that the game ends here, but you're wrong. There's more.
Oh wait, there's
There's
more.
more.
What's really funny is if you jump right before the trigger happens for that door, you can see Mono just floating through.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just float in there.
Oh. I never realized that. So we're basically
Funny
going
enough, I have a setup
into
for it.
like the TV, or like the yeah, we're like in this inside the TV, right? Now we're gonna enter a mate.
Yeah, so this part, you guys might not be able to tell. I'm not sure how good the audio is, but these doors there's like a constant music playing in the background, and when you're next to the correct door, the music gets louder. So that's how you figure out where to go. It's not just like random. There is a method to the madness here.
Thank goodness these doors weren't randomized, because
Oh yeah,
it would be such a pain in the butt to have to do this random.
wouldn't really be a
UI.
fun gameplay
Yeah.
mechanic either.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I brute forced the first room. I didn't know the mechanic. I just ended up in the room after like 20 minutes. I was like, oh, there we go.
Do you play with headphones?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
Imagine
didn't
this
pay
first without
attention to the music,
headphones.
you know?
Yeah, gotcha.
Imagine not playing with headphones. Oh wait, that's me. Oops.
I know, I played this first time with the headphones and I was like, where is this? How do I figure this out?
Yeah, I had my chat help me. They always help me when it's like audio related stuff.
Yeah, I was just mauling the whole time. I had to use the visual cue because he kind of slows down before you go in the door.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, normally you're supposed
I
to push
didn't
that plank down, so then it sets up for you to be able to cross it, but you can actually just jump across. It's
Yeah,
pretty-
so just
pretty
jump
easy.
across casually. Okay, so we're gonna meet someone familiar here. What? 6.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
she's all distorted now.
What big hands you have.
Man, her arm is just so creepy.
I know.
You have to be careful here because if we touch her foot, we're dead.
Dude, I touched your foot during the race. I was so sad. Didn't even know that was a thing. I was like, what?
Oh yeah, cool lore thing. The music box that she's protecting is a music box you see in the beginning when you save her at the start of the game.
Are you gonna save the bull?
And I need to run away. Don't do it, 6. Don't do it. You also do like an extra jump here, but it's like kind of scary.
I've died there a few times.
Yeah, that,
When I used to
that's
just
why I
bam
don't do
jump.
that.
It's really scary.
There's a quick time save here as
no.
well. We can stand in the corner the moment she turns towards us. Like now, we can just stand in the corner and wait.
You can actually jump through the door as it goes down, believe it or not. It's really, really precise though. And if you die, you have to do it all over again.
Oh, there's gonna be like a series of battle fights here, where you have to like axe her toy. normally you're supposed to manipulate the portals to kind of position her in a way so you can reach it, because she would just whack you if not. But if you scream at the right specific times, you can actually just do it in one cycle. You actually never have to go through a portal.
Yeah, we also reload checkpoints the moment we hit the music box with the axe to save, like, what is it, like 3 seconds or something? It's like very,
Yeah, it's only like a second or two per reload.
yeah, it's like very minimal. Checkpoints, that's
Nice.
the last checkpoints. And here I'm gonna go to the left instead of the right. I'm not even sure if it matters, it's just what I like always see in the runs.
Oh, it does.
Oh, okay.
It matters a lot. If you go to the left on the first one, you lose like 15 or like 10 seconds.
That's a lot.
It's really bad. All right, looks good.
There you go.
Good final hit.
Nice.
Yeah,
That one, if you oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that last part is very like risky, because if you're not fast enough or you shout for her a bit too late or too early, she's just gonna kill you.
Yeah, she'll fist slam you.
I love this stare down that she does later. So cool.
Yeah, up next is probably my favorite part of the game.
Same.
Right, we're up at the last sequence where we're gonna get chased, and if you're really fast, you can basically like Six will start glitching out. I'll see if I can get it.
Yeah.
It's easy to die.
She doesn't know
though,
what
but
to do with herself.
we'll be fine.
I have heard that if you glitch her out too bad, she just won't spawn at the
Yeah,
end.
I've heard
but
that
I've
too.
yet to see it.
Bit slow.
Yeah, so if you're really fast here, you can basically get ahead of Six, and she just doesn't know what to do, so she'll just keep falling
Yeah.
into the big eyeball blob thing.
There anymore?
Yeah, she gives up. And then she teleports here anyways.
Oh, cheater. This little walk here is always so scary because you feel like you're gonna fall every time.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go fall down, or is she gonna save us maybe?
My favorite
She'll
part
save
right
us
Yeah, I
here.
next
hope she'll
time.
save
Yeah.
us.
Maybe.
My favorite part.
Damn.
Oh,
Yes.
Lovely.
How long live the king?
So, you guys, chat missed it, but there's a lot of moments in the game where you have to do that long jump and she grabs you. And generally, there was like 2 or 3 different instances where that happens and she pulls you up. But of course, this scene kind of like betrays you. It's
Yeah.
like you expected a pull, but you didn't. She drops you.
Yeah, and there's like a ton of theories why she doesn't save you there, like a ton.
Yeah. Like I mentioned before, like you have to watch some of the lores because it's so good.
Yeah.
So many interesting theories and stuff.
This is also an interesting skip. We're gonna spawn the last, the game ends when you find like a chair on like a small hill, but we can actually spawn it in early. If I get it here. Oh,
Yeah,
I
the
was
way
too
it
fast.
works is that
maybe I can try again.
it spawns based on it spawns based on how many screen transitions you do, I believe. Or like you need to like go far enough to the left so it thinks you're in a new area, and then you go back to the right. and it'll just spawn right away.
Time is coming up, by the way.
The,
3 jumps.
Yep, time will be when she sits on the chair
Oh, there you go.
or stands
There
on it.
is. It's just the mountain of
And
flesh.
time! I always wanted to say
Yay!
that.
125 RTA is not bad for this. It's like what, about probably a 123, 122.
Yeah, and she went for the 6 stuff as well.
Yeah, and all that time
good.
on the shoe skip.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that shoe
Don't
skip.
remind me, that was horrible.
Hey,
We'll
but
watch
this
the
skip was
ending
first
though.
try.
We'll watch the
Let's
ending
go.
here.
Yeah, I have secret ending unlocked. Maybe we can watch that.
We can watch that too. Yeah, we have plenty of time. You went 10 minutes underestimate.
Oh, nice.
So we'll clap. Let's
Yeah,
enjoy
that
the
was
ending.
really smooth. That was like most of the skip's first
Yeah.
try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't have to do any safety saves.
Yeah,
good.
that's always good.
Chat, I want to know who Mono's Taylor is because my goodness.
Yeah, here you see Mono slowly turning into someone.
It's a growth spurt.
Like in your first playthrough, this part is like, oh, you know, like mind blowing. Like, what?
How does his clothes just keep growing? What is going on?
He found the old thin man's wardrobe. Just laying down there.
In the
It's
eyes.
like, oh,
Yeah.
I like how they just had
Yeah.
clothing for every age just in front of the chairs. All right, got to put on the clothes, get back in the chair.
then the hat, just out of blue.
Yeah, I
nowhere.
like his hat.
Well, his head was finally big enough.
What a nice hat. Yeah, here you can see that Mono grew into the Thin Man. So, it's a bit of a cycle.
It's a nightmare cycle.
A Little Nightmares 2 cycle.
Is it too late to leave?
After this part, we have the secret ending.
Yeah, the secret ending's really cool.
It honestly like ties everything together.
Yeah.
When does it play? After the credits?
Mm,
After this.
yeah, just
I
after
played that
this
right
part.
after this.
Oh, it's after this. Okay.
You get all the you get the secret ending if you collect glitches in the world. So instead of like gnomes in Little Nightmares 1, here it's like glitches, which is like remnants of like the school bullies and stuff. I think it's remnants of the school bullies, right?
Yeah, they're like ghostly apparition things you can find around the map.
Yeah, this here is a secret ending, and down there is a pamphlet to the maw. Supposedly.
Place that I was in earlier.
I like her shadow here, it's really cool. That's Shadow 6.
Yeah. If you guys were paying attention in the first game, when 6 hugs the last gnome, you know you could see Shadow 6 on the table.
Yeah, there's also
Actually,
two more instances where you see Shadow 6. Every time you eat, basically, you see Shadow 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Then I didn't pay attention. My God.
Yep, every single one of the times you eat, you'll see it. You just have to look, know where to look. I want to say it's on the box for the first one, and then it's on the stairs,
Yeah.
and then it's on like above on the little top, and then it's up above. Anyway, that's Little Nightmares 2. Pretty good run. So Larksa, people want to check you out on Twitch. Where can they find you?
Well, all my social media is just Larksa, same like my Twitch name, Larxa, Larksa. I speedrun quite a few games, but speedrunning is not my main thing. I usually play like variety games casually, with speedrunning on the side.
All right. That's a pretty good Little Nightmares 2 run. It's pretty good games in general. Before we head on off for the night, anyone want to add anything else?
Man, I'm tired. It's 7:30 a.m. right now. I'm gonna eat breakfast.
That's a very good plan. That
Yeah.
is, yeah. I know. Like, I think you, as well as Rodney and a few other people, are more European centric. So get food.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, that being said, that pretty much wraps up today's Little Nightmares showcase. It was a pretty fun series of games to show off. Pretty fun series of runs as well. I'm still surprised you got Hunter Skip first try.
Yeah. Oof.
That
really
was
happy,
absolutely
man.
wild. Having said that, I want to thank you all for, the Larksa Distortion, Zyra, Kenny. I want to thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, I want to thank.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, it was a good time. I want to thank all today's runners and you, chat. Thank you for watching today's show. We will be back in a couple of weeks with another fun game theme. But for now, this has been Speedruns from the Crypt. We're going to be finding someone to go to in Raid. Before we do go, though, if you want to watch more Hotfix shows or just want to have more information, all information for the GDU Hotfix shows can be found at gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. I've been your host, Dick Dices. If you like me, come check me out sometime. Other than that, have a great rest of the night and stay spooky.